mucho gusto in the Las Barreras. So the horse can run on the dirt. There's no question about that. And probably still needed the race last time. It was the second start off a long layoff, well over a year plus layoff. And then you're going from a sprint to a two-turn race. So more often than not, third start off the layoff, horses start to peak. And I think that's the case just from a handicapping standpoint with the 4 Fantastic in race number 8. And then 2 deep in race number 10, Mike. Don't forget that also eligible that draws in there Princess Sadie to the outside.
So go in, it is 3-2 on your favorite here in race number 7, which is the start of, once again, that pick 4. You just saw the ticket from Simon Publius Cirrus. Juan Hernandez in the irons as he is trying to take home a rider's title here at Los Alamitos. Let's go to Michael Rona, the voice of Los Al, with the call of race 7.
And Big Hoof Dynamite's about to load beneath Abel Cedillo, who looks for a triple. This is the first race of the afternoon where the 3 contenders for the riding title are all engaged. Ready to go. Racing. 'Cause I Did It My Way, Conquest Cobra, the first 2 into action from Big Hoof Dynamite. Sly in the red and white colours, Pabilius Cyrus 5th, followed by Race Home and Honouring Major. Solid tempo going to the 7/8 pole out of the stretch. 'Cause I Did It My Way is the leader by a length and a half to Conquest Cobra. 2 lengths to Sly inside Big Hoof Dynamite. 3 lengths Pabilius Cyrus, kept company by Race Home. Honouring Major trails onto the back stretch with 6 furlongs to go. 11 lengths covering the field. It's 'Cause I Did It My Way, striding out keenly by 2 lengths to Conquest Cobra. Sly running third from Big Hoof Dynamite. 2.5 Pabilius Cyrus, Race Home together. And 4 lengths to Honouring Major. In the run toward the half-mile marker, 'Cause I Did It My Way, showing out by 3 parts of a length, Conquest Cobra, Sly, Big Hoof Dynamite. They're nicely clear of Pabilius Cyrus into the far turn. Race Home is 10 off the lead and 5 clear of Honouring Major. They're strung out like Christmas lights. 3/8 left to go. And Conquest Cobra serving it up to 'Cause I Did It My Way. Chased after a length by a 3-wide Sly. 2.5 to Big Hoof Dynamite. Joined on the inside by Pabilius Cyrus, who's starting to come home well. Race Home coming to the extreme outside. 6 from the front. At the 3/16 pole, Conquest Cobra. Pabilius Cyrus diving through along the inside. Sly is on the scene, 'Cause I Did It My Way, weakening. Pabilius Cyrus thrusting through that rail opening for Hernandez, has taken over from Conquest Cobra. Pabilius Cyrus on the claim back by Vladimir Surin puts Hernandez into a tie atop the standings. Pabilius Cyrus defeating Conquest Cobra. Sly third, just in front of 'Cause I Did It My Way.
And Publius Cyrus from off the pace under Juan Hernandez gets the victory, as he now has 12 wins, tied with Abel Cedillo for the lead in the riders' standings. Brittany?
Oh, this has been fun to watch because Jessica Pfeiffer gave her mount, the 7, Conquest Cobra, a fantastic ride. She finishes second once again as she's trying to vie for that leading rider title. But Juan Hernandez, this was his first mount today. Definitely made it worth it. A nice ride by him. Off odds of 3-2. You always got to look at that reclaim angle. I think it says a lot about intent.
3-2 on Publius Cirrus to kick off this late pick 4. We'll have prices in a little bit. Let's get back to Scott and Kate.
Mike, we're going to take our viewers to Hawthorne Racecourse just outside of Chicago in Stickney, Illinois for their nightcap. Race number 9, Caton, $6,250 claimers, restricted to non-winners of 2 lifetime. And the number 5 horse, you're looking at the bottom of our screen, the number 5 is 5-2 as the favorite. That's Bodie Max for Hugh Robertson and Novogratz Racing Stable. They've been a potent team for many years in the Chicagoland area, and this filly just broke her maiden last time out at Hawthorne.
I think it's appropriate, Scotty, that you and I get to team up to do Hawthorne racing, especially at this time of the year. It feels like almost home for the holidays, so to speak, since we both grew up around Hawthorne and in the Chicago area and spent a lot of really good times and learned a lot about horse racing. There's a core of outstanding horsemen that are there that will never get much recognition just by virtue of the types of horses, the stock that they've gotten, or the opportunities that they've had. But, you know, even to be a big fish in a little pond is an accomplishment that requires a lot of work and effort. And when I think of Hugh Robertson, I think of someone who kind of fits that description as just a very, very good horseman who's been around for a very long time. When he gets a good horse, he knows what to do with it, just doesn't get that many of those top-notch types of runners. But Bodie Max was able to win really easily last time out in maiden 62.50, and I could see him being the type of horse that could rattle off consecutive wins. I'm right there with you as this one, or I'm assuming that you like this horse as much as I do and as much as the bettors do.
Yeah, I think that she fits, and I'm normally trying to play against horses that just broke their maiden and have to face winners for the first time, but you can see the progression of this filly. She started on the East Coast at Delaware, at Laurel, shows up in Chicago, immediately wins, so she fits the circuit, and I think that this group is the right sort of group for a last-out winner to come back and face winners for the first time and run a big one. You talk about Hugh Robertson and getting good horses. Hotshot Anna immediately comes to mind, his two-time Presque Isle Masters winner who was recently sold at the Keeneland November sale. And then how about this name? I know that you know the horse, Polar Expedition. He was an absolute freak show, and I had the great pleasure of sitting and speaking to Hugh Robertson and reflecting on him and his successes. He was one of those horses from many years ago that would be forgotten about outside of the Chicago circuit, but he was a serious runner for Hugh Robertson.
Yeah, we were actually in the barn, my father, with a very small string of horses at Hawthorne during Polar Expedition's early glory years, and got kind of a firsthand look at him as he was developing. And Hugh did a remarkable job with him and was able to maximize the talent that the horse had. So, that is what I'm talking about, and it is kind of fun to have the opportunity to go down memory lane and talk about some horsemen that are not just really good horsemen and people that we've known in the business for a long time, but our friends. And the Chicago horsemen are a lot like family in that regard. I agree. I think that's the horse to beat, and I'm having trouble finding anybody else that I really can make a strong case for. Maybe the four I saw her first with some early speed could get out there.
Here's Peter Galassi.
They're off. Bodie Max going for the lead. Henry's Girl showing speed. Those two battle for early lead. Polar's Grace out there next. Telly up on the far outside. Logie along the rail got away fourth, moving up to be fifth as I saw her first. Ozette shuffled back to sixth, going by her. Amazing Annie seventh. Wildwood Maggie out there eighth, 9 lengths from the leader. The trailing pair as they go into the far turn, Temrick and Rare Action Attack. They've got less than a half mile to go in the Sunday nightcap, and they're chasing Bodie Max. Bodie Max keeps her lead by 2. Henry's Girl chasing on the outside, second. They come to the top of the stretch. Bodie Max by 2. Henry's Girl on the outside trying to rally up, tally up to the outside. Here's Amazing Annie swooping up on the far outside. And from far back, Wildwood Maggie getting into it late. They've got less than 3/16 to go. It's still Bodie Max by 4. Henry's Girl still in second. Wildwood Maggie moves up third. And then along the rail, that's Logie coming on, followed up by Amazing Annie and Tally up there in deep stretch. Bodie Max is going to win again. 3 wins in a row for jockey Julio Felix. Bodie Max won the nightcap. Wildwood Maggie second. Henry's Girl third. Logie fourth. And Temrick completes the jackpot high 5.
She's 2 for 2 since arriving in Illinois. Bodie Max, the daughter of Bodie Meister, bred by Novogratz Racing, campaigned by Novogratz Racing, and Hugh Robertson, the winning conditioner.
Boy, a change of tactics, too, going right to the front and never looking back. I mean, she was quick last time against maidens, but she didn't make the lead in the first point of call. This time, there was just no doubt about it who it was to beat. Bodie Max every step of the way. She might be a little better than that $62.50 claiming price suggests.
Yeah, hopefully they've kept her, because she would be an easy one to take a look at on form and say that she's got some usefulness ahead of her on this circuit at Hawthorne Racecourse. We'll take a break. When we come back, more from Fairgrounds, more from Los Al as we close in on their closing day feature, the King Glorious.
Introducing the Equibase app with all new features, including Smart Pick, smart handicapping made easy. Choose your track, choose your race, and then go to Smart Pick. Select your level of risk, the size of your wager, and which of these 3 strategies you want to emphasize. Smart Pick will then tailor your very own selection and bet amount. It couldn't be easier. Smart Pick, one of the exciting new features in the Equibase app. Download it free of charge today.
If your long-term disability claim was denied, listen closely. You may be able to recover money. Unum is one of the largest disability insurance carriers, and companies you know like Colonial Life, New York Life, and National Life Group are all part of the Unum family. Unum was fined millions for wrongly denying claims. You may be owed compensation. Let us help you through the appeal process.
Call 1-800-664-2191 for your free legal consultation. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
West Coast champion 3-year-old colt and multiple Grade 1 winner with over $5 million in earnings. He dominated the Pennsylvania Derby by more than 7 lengths and went wire to wire in the Travers, defeating all 3 classic winners.
I would say the Travers was his best performance. He just got out there with that big frame of his and he just galloped away from a fantastic field of horses.
A descendant of the AP Indy sire line, West Coast stands to continue that legacy at Lane's End.
Welcome back to the program. Prices are in from race number 7 here, Los Alamitos, where it was Publius Cyrus with the victory for Vladimir Serin. A new acquisition for he and Holly and David Wilson. They had to do without this horse in their barn for all of 1 race, Brittany. Lost for 12.5. They come back and claim for 25,000, and then they win against Protected Company here. A return of $5 for your $2 win bets. Conquest, Cobra, and Sly round out the top 3.
Well, they returned just where they left off with this horse. Congratulations to them. And this horse is a winning machine, knows how to find that winner's circle recently. It had been some time prior to that, but the horse had been facing some tough competition. You see Eddie Haskell, Ohio, Caribou Club, Conquest Tsunami, a lot of horses that were running in stakes competition. So definitely has found his home. And congratulations to Juan Hernandez, now in a tie for the lead with Abel Cedillo in the jockey standings. And another second for Jessica Pfeiffer. She is sitting 1 behind those 2. Race number 8 is coming up next, a pretty evenly matched allowance optional claiming event. They'll be going 1 mile. These are 3-year-olds and upward. A field of 8 set to go postward in about 15 minutes, and Fantastic is your current even money favorite. Just clicks up to 6-5, actually. Flavian Pratt in to ride this horse. He did get to know him and ride him to a third place finish in the Grade 3 Las Barrera last out. I did, Mike, when I was hollering or like sign languaging to Brian Corner when he was up here. He said, do not overlook Go Daddy Go. He said, had a troubled trip last time out. You're not going to see it on the page. Wheels back in 2 weeks. He thinks he's worth a consideration. So Go Daddy Go sitting on the board at 6-1 right now. Perhaps to use if you're playing that late pick 3.
All right, 13 minutes to get our wagers in here for race number 8 of Los Alamitos, but we return to Scott Hazelton and Caton Bradar.
We're going to go ahead and close out the Fairgrounds card with race number 10. State bred, Louisiana breds, $5,000 claimers, 6 furlongs is the distance. Exact to try and superfecta wagers available in this race. There are a couple of scratches. The 2, the 6, as well as the 13 are out. So that means the 14 draws in off the also eligible and is getting some attention off of a victory at Delta. Philly, who is 3-1, 5-2 on the 9. Inspector Eddie. Miguel Mena for Edward Johnston and Cash's King Stable. But we'll start the post parade with the 1, Wabash Cannonball, a 9-year-old seeking his 17th victory.
He doesn't know he's 9 based on the way he looks on that track. He walks out there like he owns the track, second start off the layoff. What could possibly go wrong is the 3 with Mitchell Merle looking for 2 straight victories. And there is Free Indeed, who was able to put together back-to-back wins at Evangeline earlier in the summer. A little off form of late, but does make his second start back off a layoff with Carlos Marquez, who had a win on the card. Booth Roadshine was beaten just a neck at this level. First start since August. I could see him improving. The 7/8's Wild with a little bounce to his stride. Declan Carroll aboard once again after riding to a 4th place finish aboard the 6-year-old. I think he's a contender. The 8 Spring Value with that very good Jack Gilligan and Shane Wilson combination. Very, very effective this meet thus far, and Spring Value was 3rd last out. Inspector Eddie went by. That is my choice as well. Come on, V. The 10 is a long shot. The 11, Jake the Bandman, going by, kind of a stalker. Second start back off the layoff. Good record at the track and distance. The 12, Seeley, will be next. He might show some speed in his first start since September. But he's going to be a bit of a price shot, would have to run his A game for sure. And then on the far outside, Philly is getting played, and probably rightfully so. Easy winner last out at Delta. This is a step up in terms of the company. Overall, going from Delta to the Fairgrounds can be a little bit of a step up in terms of class. But also off that 4-length win, he has to prove that he can put together back-to-back victories. Still, he is one of several contenders in this field. I hate to settle for the 5-2 favorite, Scott. I didn't really necessarily think Inspector Eddie was going to be that horse, but at the same time, he is my top choice and is one of the bigger class droppers in the field.
Yeah, coming from 12.5 beaten claimers, the 5,000 beaten claimers is a substantial drop in class. And if the tote board is telling you that the 14 is, one of his main threats coming off that Delta race, I do think he's got to step up. The 14 does. And you also have to keep in mind that 6.5 furlongs at Delta is a 2-turn race. So this is going to be a quicker run race than what the outside horse Philly was seen doing at Delta Downs last time out. And then the full horse Free Indeed for Carl DeVille. He takes the drop. I mean, you've got to consider the substantial drop that he's taking. He's yet to win at Fairgrounds from 4 previous attempts. But those were against tougher groups, I should say, most recently running in a 2 other than optional race. So, the fact that the 9 is favored above the 4, I think just is a strong indicator of what the expectations are based on what he's been doing and the lack really of run from the full horse as of late, even though he is taking a drop down in class in a big way. So a big wide look at the track there at Fairgrounds for race number 10. The starting gate just off to the left, really not far behind from being right behind the graphics on the left-hand side of our screen right now that you're taking a look at. So they're going to give you a minute or two to get these wagers in. Now we zoom in on Free Indeed, this colt. I mean, what do you make of him? I'd like to hear your opinion of this colt by Midshipman.
Yeah, I think he's got a shot. I mean, if you look at the race that he won at Evangeline Downs going 6.5 furlongs on July 17th, that was Louisiana-bred first-level allowance runners, and he went right to the front and kept on going as the favorite. He has the ability to make the lead in this race, I would think. And he maybe had an excuse last time out as he had been away since July. So he could have needed a race as far as fitness, but he still was beaten only 3/4 of a length at the same level. He was very competitive with Booth Roadshine and I believe another horse that's in this field, in addition to the 5, come out of that same race. So I wouldn't hesitate to give a look to him. I think Spring Value, especially given the fact that Shane Wilson is having the meet that he's having, 20% winners. Jack Gilligan has been his main rider. That, I would say, has been this barn the source of most of Jack's wins this meet. So I think probably as far as value is concerned, 9-1 on the 8 Spring Value is kind of the way to go. Inspector Eddie still staying at 5-2. I am a little surprised at this. He hasn't won. He had to be in a race that was moved off the turf. to get back to the winner's circle, albeit against tougher company, but it was kind of a light field that day, kind of had everything his own way. So he kind of, to me, he has to prove, Inspector Eddie has to prove if he has any adversity, if he doesn't get a dream trip, that he can still come up with the victory. But you could say the same for everybody in this field. So with that combined with the class drop, Inspector Eddie makes a lot of sense here. But, you know, I had 6 horses that I really, you know, when I first passed through the race, who do you like? Who do you think has a shot? Which horses would you include in multi-race wagers like the Pick 5? And I had 5 of them. Now, I narrowed it down just a little bit, but, you know, I thought the 9 and the 14 were top contenders, but I didn't put the 4 too far behind. I didn't put the 3, what could possibly go wrong, too far behind, just because maybe he's getting his confidence. You know, that last win was awfully easy. I've seen horses like that don't take huge rises in class, come back to rattle off consecutive wins. But what could possibly go wrong? Has to run as well on a fast track tonight as he did on the sloppy track at the fairgrounds in November. And that's the question mark. Will he be quite as good on the fast track as he was in the slop? I think he does fit with the company, though, and he's another one that's good odds at 7-1.
You know, another thing, too, this race, watching the tote board and talking about the 4, talking about the 14, and you talking about the 3, and, you know, looking at these contenders, it makes me just want to make a substantial bet on the 9. And, you know, there's ways of handicapping these races, right? You get the past performances a couple of days out, you handicap them, maybe you do it the morning of, and you've done your work there. Then you can also handicap and watching the lead up. And to me, that's, you know, another aspect of approaching this game. And the fact that the 9 is this clear of a favorite over a horse like the 4, if you told me the 4 was going to end up being the favorite, I would not be shocked looking at form. But the 9 is really become a standout looking at the tote board, and at 2-1, you know, if I can hit here, bet 50 to win, 10 to win, whatever your budget is, I think that handicapping the way that this race is being played, you've got to go to the 9 in this instance because he has separated himself so much on the tote board where it doesn't look like there's that much separation between he and these others. And I'm not convinced that Philly on the outside is the right alternative as the second choice, which just takes me back to the 9. So that's the approach that I'd take here. And I think that it's something that when you have the opportunity and you have this much lead up to a race as a handicapper, you can handicap in this fashion as well. It's just not the nuts and bolts replays, looking at past performances, speed figures, and everything else. Watching the way that this race is being played, or a race is being played, is another way to approach it. And my approach would be take the 9 here in the 10th and final. Let's go to John Dooley for the call.
Booth Road Shine at 6 furlongs. One more. Colby Hernandez with Philly. Again, happy holidays to all. December 26th, post time 1 o'clock, 12 races, 3 stakes on the 26th. Last of the day, they're in the gate. And they're off. Come On V broke sharp. Jake the Bandman. Philly up there on the far outside. It's Come On V. So Come On V just leads after 1 furlong from Philly, who's in pursuit. What could possibly go wrong in the black and yellow blocks is running in 3rd position, heading to the half-mile pole. Then Booth Road Shine is now in 4th, followed on the outside by Jake the Bandman in 5th. Inspector Eddie is 6th with the white blinkers. Then Sealy Wide as they go to the far turn with the Free Indeed, Wabash Cannonball, Spring Value, and 8 Wild Trails here in the Sunday finale. The quarter 22.25 seconds. Come On V takes them past the 3. It's Come On V who's in front by 4 from Philly, being bustled along. To the inside is what could possibly go wrong. Jake the Bandman trying to wind on the far outside. Booth Road Shine straightens away in 5th. Inspector Eddie roundabout 7th past the quarter pole. Half mile 45.91. It's Come On V. Come On V out in front. A long odds leader with 1 furlong to get. Come On V leads by 5. As they come past the 16th, but charging what could possibly go wrong. Then toward the inside, Booth Road Shine and Free Indeed with a late bid. But close to home with Jose Raquelme. It's Come On V, and Come On V upsets the finale by 3. Free Indeed gains 2nd. What could possibly go wrong 3rd? And Booth Road Shine held on to run 4th and back of a 41-1 winner.
Favorite doesn't fire. Inspector Eddie couldn't have been more flat, and Come On V takes advantage of being quick away from the starting gate, Caden.
Yeah, he really did. I knew he would show speed, but I didn't think that no one else in the field would run with him. But, hats off to the Connections for taking advantage and having the horse ready on the day. Jose Riquelme really fit the horse nicely, was able to let him get out to the front like that. He didn't interfere with him either, Scott, when he didn't switch his leads in the stretch at the top of the lane. He just kind of let him find his way, and eventually he did swap over. Was very comfortable, kind of on cruise control throughout much of a pretty fast, quickly run race.
10-4-3-5, the unofficial top four finishers at Fairgrounds, Mike, as they will head off to their holiday break. As you heard from John Dooley, back racing at Fairgrounds in New Orleans, Louisiana on December 26th.
All right, Scott, we look forward to seeing them back in action on opening day for Santa Anita, but we still have some racing to contend here at Los Alamitos. 3 races left on the card, including this 8th, a mile event. There's a money restriction on the allowance condition or an optional tag of $40,000. We haven't said anything about this field, but Simon, I'll start the conversation with you because it's your top pick that's even money. It's also Brittany's dad's horse, but I'll start with you because you like Fantastic here. What about this 4-year-old colt caught your eye?
Well, look, he's winless on the dirt, but he's only had 2 tries. But as I mentioned earlier, his 2 efforts have been very good. A runner-up and a 3rd place finish in a Group 3. That's the first thing. Number 2, I think he wants to go a mile. And number 3, I think he's peaking here, 3rd start in the form cycle. When you come off a long layoff, usually, horses that run long come back at a sprint distance, maybe for a start to get them there ready if they're not ready to go long. They have that race, and then they send them long. And then I think there's more progression from start 2 to 3. So we're sitting here with the 3rd start off the layoff, Flavian Pratt aboard. So I think this horse is sitting on go, and the public thinks so at even money. I'm kind of surprised he's bet down that low, but from my standpoint, it's actually a good sign, a lot of confidence in the 4 Fantastic. But from a price standpoint, it means if he wins, we'll have back-to-back favorites here in the first 2 legs.
Right, I'm with you on this horse. I can't really get outside of him that much. I thought Margot's Boy, very chilly, Brittany, on the tote board for Craig Lewis and Juan Hernandez. This was the 2-to-1 morning line favorite, and the wagering public, they're not buying it.
This horse, I think, is just better on the turf course, and we have seen turf form translate to the Los Alamitos surface, but he also seems like a horse that needs the lead, and I think he might actually get some, pace pressure up front. Square Deal for Tim Yaktine is stretching out from sprint races and has been forwardly placed in those. Juan Hernandez does get aboard for the first time today, so we'll see if tactics change at all. We'll see if this horse is able to relax underneath Juan Hernandez. He's turning back in 2 weeks, so you could read that one of 2 ways. I mean, he was a part of the pace last time out, so maybe Craig Lewis thinks, you know what, he's doing great at the barn. Let's just run him again here at the meet. That's the benefit of having 3 weeks here at Los Alamitos. So the 5, yes, cold at 5-1. I'm interested by the 3, Mystery Man. I don't know what transpired last time out aside from the stumble, but he was facing some good horses. Kiss Today Goodbye is a horse that was dropping out of stakes competition. So perhaps today with the blinkers on, we could see it rebound to form for the 3, because if he does rebound, he could be tough.
There's a look at him on the track there, Mike Smith in the irons. Certainly, he's a contender. He's your second choice right now. Sith Lord, who's going to be even 1 horse to the inside of the Mystery Man, 60-1, Simon. It looks like this is a fast horse. I'm talking about the 2. Is he going to have an impact on the pace scenario here?
I think he will. Yeah, I think he will. I mean, he's going to have an impact early, that's for sure. He's a one-dimensional type sometimes, as most often these horses are. Whether he's going to have an impact at the end of the race, it remains to be seen, because all his wins recently have been in gate-to-wire fashion. So that's his best way of going. He's quick enough to get the lead. If he gets loose on the lead, he could be a threat, but I think he's going to get softened up here. You got Margot's Boy.
I got to interrupt you, though. Quick. I got to interrupt you because I've just been told in my ear that Sith Lord is a late scratch. So all that was for naught, Simon. This great analysis we just did. And it was like literally halfway through your answer, they got me, oh, they're going to late scratch this too. So scratch Sith Lord and scratch all of those analyses given by Simon Bray. Okay, so with that horse out, now what happens?
Well, that's a key pace factor, right? So we've got Mystery Man, maybe Mike Smith. Margot's Boy, the 3 and the 5 could be the pace setters in here. With Smith knowing that the horse to his inside is immediately scratched, they're putting blinkers on, and they'll probably send the 3 here, I would imagine, for Richard Mandela and Fox Hill Farms.
So you've got Abel Cedillo and Juan Hernandez both in this race. Abel Cedillo on the 10-1 Royal Act, Juan Hernandez on the 5-1 Margot's Boy, tied with 12 wins each. And then Jess Pfeiffer is on the 1 Irish Heatwave with 11 wins on the meet. So this jockey race coming down to the wire here. They're resetting the chicklets on the front of the starting gate and getting the stall doors all moved over. As you can see, they are bringing Sith Lord back to the paddock here. And we are in a bit of a holding pattern until they get it reset. So, Brittany, you see the rider standings. Any one of these 3 get the win here?
Well, if I'm going with those 3, I mean, I'm going to go with Abel Cedillo with Royal Act, just because I'm completely partial and would love to see that horse bounce back into form. I am looking forward to seeing what Royal Act does today back on the dirt. He is a horse that showed some promise. You know, he finished 2nd in the Robert B. Lewis, but he needs to get back to that today.
See how they run for race number 8. They're just about set. Michael Rona has the call.
They've moved in quickly. Late scratch of number 2, Sith Lord. Favoritism with Fantastic number 4 at 6-5. Racing. Fantastic begins okay today, although dropping back toward the rear soon afterwards. Mystery Man with the blinkers on is the narrow leader, taken on by Margot's Boy and Square Deal looming up to make a line of 3. Followed closely by Irish Heatwave inside Fantastic and Royal Act, and 6 lengths to go, Daddy Go. Sweeping around the first bend, and Mystery Man is the leader. Moving out by 1 length from Irish Heatwave, who still has the rail options, coming through closer now, in fact. Only a neck between the top 2. Followed closely out wide by Square Deal. And Margot's Boy is in between horses. Fantastic 5th nearer the inside, followed by Royal Act. A gap of a half dozen lengths to go, Daddy Go. In the middle stages, Pfeiffer sends Irish Heatwave through that rail opening to head Mystery Man. And at the half-mile pole, it's Irish Heatwave a length in front. Mystery Man is 2nd. Fantastic up along the inside to 3rd, past Margot's Boy. 2 length Square Deal, yielding positions, passed by Royal Act, and the trailer is still Go Daddy Go, but beginning a move. 12 lengths front to back at the top of the stretch. Now Irish Heatwave leaves the rail, and Fantastic has the rail opportunity at the quarter pole. Mystery Man's in the 3 path. 3 in line coming to the 3/16 pole. Clear from Margot's Boy. Go Daddy Go. Royal Act a wider out. At the 8th pole, Fantastic on the inside. Battles with Mystery Man. Irish Heatwave between them. Margot's Boy joins in, and so too Go Daddy Go with Royal Act, a line of 6. Fantastic, Margot's Boy, Go Daddy Go, Royal Act, and it's Royal Act getting up to score narrowly from Go Daddy Go. They've come from a long way back in the field. Margot's Boy was 3rd. 4th is tight. Fantastic is there with Mystery Man and Irish Heatwave.
Royal Act from off the pace here under Abel Cedillo as he picks up the victory. As this jockey race just gets more and more interesting. 5-1, Brittany, on your winner. He comes from way off the pace.
I mean, honestly, my eyes were on Fantastic at this moment in time, and he's coming out of those 1 3/8 races. My dad was concerned with the post position. He was going to have to go wide, but he always thought, this son of American Pharaoh, he's a dirt horse. He showed in the past he had promise. It looks like he's wheeling back into form. A nice victory there for Abel Cedillo and CRK Stable.
8-7-5-3, your order of finish. 5-1 over 5-1 over 3-1 over 5-1. Abel Cedillo with another win on the card. We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll have the late double, including the King Glorious. But after we wrap up the daytime races, don't forget the best bet in racing, the early pick 4 at Los Al, starts this evening. We'll be back.
They say with some horses, you can just tell. You can take one look at them and you know they're different. That they're built to be faster than all the others, more successful, more majestic, more historic. Even if the truth is you don't really know until the spotlight puts them to a whole other kind of test. He wouldn't race until he was 3 years old, but when he got onto the track, Justify produced a remarkable 112 days of perfection.
the Kentucky Derby.
He broke a curse more than a century old.
He's just awesome! Justify has won the Kentucky Derby!
He overcame slop, fog, and every challenger who pushed him to the line.
Justify! He's unstoppable!
And ultimately, he became just the second undefeated horse ever to win racing's Triple Crown.
He's just perfect, and now he's just an immortal! Justify is the 13th Triple Crown winner!
He's always been a horse that looked the part, a physical specimen you just can't take your eyes off of. But on the track, once the starting gates opened, Justify's brilliance ultimately matched his boundless potential. Now, alongside another all-time great at Ashford, he's a stallion who presents another kind of infinite potential. Now the question is, who else wants to be a part of the generation that comes next?
Going to take a look back at yesterday's Grade 3 feature at Gulfstream Park, the Grade 3 Mr. Prospector Stakes, 7 furlongs the distance. Some names that you'll certainly recognize: Firenze Fire, Mind Control, skipping the Cigar Mile and opting for this race given the sloppy conditions. Diamond Oops, the Phoenix Stakes winner from this past fall meet at Keeneland Racecourse, and Sleepy Eyes Todd, a horse that travels well and wins. Bottom line, let's take a look back at yesterday's feature at Gulfstream, the Grade 3 Mr. Prospector.
And they're off in the Mr. Prospector. Out wide, Mind Control was well served at the start. There goes long shot Wind of Change put into play. Of the favorites, Sleepy Eyes Todd gets away the best, with Firenze Fire just racing on his outside. Down at the inside goes Cool Arrow. Diamond Oops is mid-flight. Lasting Legacy is toward the fence, a gap of 3. That's Last Judgment racing inside of Firenze Fire, who's toward the back of the field. High Call and Majestic Dunhill are next, and Eben is last as they head to the half-mile point. With the advantage, Wind of Change on a mission. He's off the lead by 4 lengths. Cool Arrow is clearly second toward the rails. Sleepy Eyes Todd has now moved up to take a joint third. Zendon is between horses, and Mind Control's on the outside. Then it's a length and a half to the fence. Lasting Legacy coming into the clear to launch his bid. Firenze Fire is next. Diamond Oops will have to pick up his feet and do it soon. He's a length better than Eben. Then it's Last Judgment. High Call is still far back, and the trailer is Majestic Dunhill, and the leader is still the Wind of Change. Wind of Change at a big number has gone awfully quick, and he's got classy individuals charging at him. Cool Arrow, Firenze Fire into the clear now. Up on his outside, Mind Control, Lasting Legacy, and Sleepy Eyes Todd are next. 1/8 of a mile to go. Who do you like here? Sleepy Eyes Todd now to a narrow lead. Firenze Fire takes his shot on the outside second. Sleepy Eyes Todd almost home. Sleepy Eyes Todd wins the Mr. Prospector. Second was Firenze Fire. It's close for third between Mind Control and Wind of Change. 7 furlongs in 1:21 and 3.
Sleepy Eyes Todd, Caton, I think just continues to gain fans with each and every race because this horse travels. He travels well. We talked about this yesterday. He has stakes wins at Fauner Park in Grand Island, Nebraska, Charlestown, Keeneland, and now Gulfstream Park. What a 2020 it's been for this Keeneland graduate, son of Patio Prado.
You know, Scott, he doesn't always win, but he always tries. And that, combined with his globetrotting, has really made him a very popular horse and an easy horse to root for. And he usually pays pretty generously, not necessarily the longest shot on the board because he has earned some respect and quite the following. But he is never or typically not the favorite. And that was true in the Mr. Prospector, which a very impressive win, I thought, that will now, I think, get him to the next step, once again stretching out perhaps in the Pegasus Stakes. And that's another neat aspect about Sleepy Eyes Todd. Like the rare group of elite racehorses, he is a very talented sprinter and an equally talented route horse, up to, say, 1.1 1/8 miles. So Sleepy Eyes Todd has a lot of options and could be a fun horse to have in the older horse handicap division this year. Tyler Gaffalione rode him really well, rode him with some confidence, eased him through that spot, which was relatively tight through the stretch. It was a clutch move, and Sleepy Eyes Todd came through in the clutch.
And you mentioned Gaffalione. Look at his last 10 starts. If you got the past performances in front of you, perhaps you don't because this race was yesterday. Only David Cabrera has ridden him multiple times in his last 10. Eddie Martin, Cabrera, Ry Eichelberry, Adam Beschizza, Quincy Hamilton, Valdez Jimenez, Delgado in the Charlestown Classic, Umberto Rispoli, Joel Rosario in the Lafayette Stakes, and now Tyler Gaffalione. I mean, he just lays it down for whatever rider is on his back, wherever they send him, whatever distance they ask of him. Sleepy Eyes Todd is just a racehorse through and through, and we'll see if, in fact, we do get a chance to see him in the Pegasus World Cup in a month's time. Coming up next, the feature at Los Alamitos, the 100 grand King Glory Stakes.
After this break, Calbred juveniles will throw it down on the dirt. It's the King Glorious Stakes, next from Los Alamitos.
Real players, real stories.
First, I saw the commercial, then my friend recommended Betfair, and I signed up that day.
On Betfair Casino, you can play your favorite casino games anywhere in New Jersey, including blackjack, roulette, slots, and more.
It's just so much fun.
When I play online, I prefer Betfair.
No long drives to the casino. No hassle.
If you're still driving to the casinos, save the gas and tolls. Put that money in your pocket.
Joining is easy. Go to betfaircasino.com or download the app and sign up today.
I saw the commercial on TV, downloaded the app, and within minutes I was playing.
And now, when you join, you can play your first day risk-free up to $200.
You sign up, you play your first day risk-free. How great is that?
I've played those other online casinos, but for me, Betfair is the best.
I wish I signed up earlier. It's just so much fun.
Join the fun today at Betfair Casino.
They're off for the 8 challenge. Jerkins presented by Run Happy. Running away in the Run Happy hopeful. Matoli wins the Run Happy mid-mile. Have won the Run Happy Grabbers.
Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Mare produce records are essential for breeding decisions, sales catalog research, buying and selling decisions. The Equine Line Mare Produce Records online service and apps provide you with unlimited access to mare produce information from all over the world, with racing and auction history for thoroughbred mares and foals. When it comes to mare produce records, there's one source with every mare, every foal, everywhere. EquineLine.com.
Andrew Filipponi, you are the radio voice there in Pittsburgh. Coming to you first, the Steelers are giving 12.5 points in this matchup. Can they cover that number?
No, I don't think the Steelers could cover 12.5 against Alabama right now. I mean, they're just a team that's in complete shambles. 11-2, don't let the record fool you, Dave Weaver. It's a team that is at a loss. I don't think they know who they are offensively. They're throwing the ball way too much. Ben Roethlisberger's got no zip on the ball. He looked like Peyton Manning in his final year in Denver against Buffalo on Sunday night. He's talking about retirement after the game. Maybe I need to hang it up. The Bengals are a get-right type of team, one of the worst defenses in the entire NFL. But I don't trust the Steelers to run the ball effectively. James Conner now has a quad injury. And I don't know what Ben Roethlisberger has left in the tank. So with this big number, I'm going to take the Bengals.
Yeah, not only did they lose last week, they lost the week before. So 2 losses in a row, yet John Sheeran feels that they're still good enough to be favored by double digits on the road. I don't think a team that loses 2 in a row ever should be favored in the NFL on the road by that much. You go back to 2018, the Steelers had 2 consecutive losses. They went to Oakland as a 10.5-point favorite. Not only did they not cover, they lost the game outright. So I think there's a chance that Cincinnati could pull off a huge upset in this one, but for sure, I'm going to be taking the points.
champion 2-year-old Game Winner. Undefeated as a juvenile, including 3 Grade 1 wins in the Del Mar Futurity, American Pharoah Stakes, and the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. By perennial leading sire, Candy Ride. From the immediate female family of champion Fleet Indian. New for 2021.
TVG Saturday. 3-year-old fillies race 7 furlongs in the Grade 1 La Brea Stakes from Santa Anita. Kick off day 1 of the season with great racing from the Great Race Place. Join us Saturday. Santa Anita, first post, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. TVG Saturday. Laurel Park Stakes excitement includes fillies and mares in the Grade 3 All Air DuPont, plus other great races. Catch it Saturday. Laurel Park, first post, 12:25 Eastern, 9:25 Pacific. TVG Saturday. Thrilling stakes action on Santa Anita's opening day includes a pair of Grade 2s, 3-year-olds and up in the San Antonio, and 3-year-olds duel in the Mathis Brothers Mile. Play Saturday. Santa Anita, first post, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. TVG Saturday. Santa Anita's opening day features 3-year-old fillies in the Grade 1 Run Happy Malibu. Brought to you by Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm. Play Saturday. Santa Anita, first post, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific.
Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, don't sleep on our popular $2 Pick 6 at Los Alamitos Racecourse. The Los Alamitos Pick 6 offers a traditional 70-30 split. That means a better chance for a solid nightly payout for our horse players. Check our strong Pick 6 payout this year. Over $10,000 on November 22nd. Over $32,000 on November 15th. Over $10,000 on October 18th. The traditional Los Alamitos Pick 6. It's a wager that is always in style.
California Chrome comes roaring off the top of the turn, past mid-stretch in the King Glorious, and California Chrome is gone! He's opened up a 5-length lead on Trey Hart, and Life is a Joy. California Chrome to the wire, straight and strong!
It was the first stakes victory in a career that would see him retire as the richest racehorse in North American history. California Chrome announced himself to those of us who are fans of this game on the final night of racing ever at the old Hollywood Park. Today, that stakes race, the King Glorious, has now been run here at Los Alamitos for the past several years, and it'll be run again as the final stakes race of this fall-winter meeting during the daytime hours here with the thoroughbreds running. Calbreds, 2-year-olds, there are some talented ones, there are some precocious ones, but will we see another star? Brittany, that is the question going into today's feature event.
That is the question. Right now, the public would say that Mr. Bold is the one that's going to follow in California Chrome's King Glorious footsteps. 3-2 currently on the favorite, but stretching out to around a ground for the first time. And that's the big question mark for a lot of these horses here. Yes, they have the talent sprinting, but can they translate that to 2 turns? So I'm leaning towards horses that have that experience and have done well going around of ground. But I will say, hats off to, and we'll mention this, Mike, at the end of the day, but hats off to the racing office here at Los Alamitos. Through and through, every day here at Los Alamitos, we have had full fields, and it's really nice to see this stakes race with a total of 10 horses.
And Simon, it's 10 sharp horses. I mean, these are no slouches here. I know it's a state-bred 2-year-old race. Sometimes they don't come up as tough as you think, but you can't take anything away from the contenders here. Regardless of the ranks they were running in prior to today, they're all pretty good.
Yeah, and they're all on the upswing, right? I mean, there's potential going forward here for many of them around the distance of ground for the first time. It could bring out the best in some of them, like a horse I like, the 7 Ascot Storm, who I think wants the distance of ground here. It's going to be tough to run down the favorite here, Mr. Bold, who makes a lot of sense. Couple of sprints stretching out, undefeated for Jeff Bondi. So, yeah, there's a talented group here. Good with People, who is one of the choices on the morning line. He's kind of the opposite to some of these horses who've just been talking about stretching out. He might not appreciate the extra distance. It's going to be telling for him. Today's a big race for him, whether he sticks to 1 turn or he can show the ability to go 2 turns. But thus far, he looks like a 1-turn horse to me.
Well, let's start the post parade with a 17-1 shot who does indeed have the 2-turn experience. Now, it was against maiden claiming competition, and that was last time out. But it was right here at Los Al, and this gelding ran away and won by 4 lengths is 17-1 with Edwin Maldonado up. Club Cal leads him onto the track for today's King Glorious. Then we get to Wedding Groom at 60-1, another long shot. Wedding Groom has not been around 2 turns before. The lone victory came at Santa Anita at 6.5 furlongs, winning that day by 8 1/4. 2 tries against winners since yielded a 4th and a 7th place finish. Taco Flavored Kisses. This was a very well-meant first-time starter upon debut at Del Mar this summer. Has come back with 2 wins since then, was stakes placed on the Smokin', and coming out of that Golden State Juvenile that we have a number of horses coming out of, including the top 3 finishers. Positivity is a scratch. They're not going to wheel this horse back on 24 hours rest after running yesterday in the Futurity. You see the 60-1 shot from the get-go. Number 5 horse for Luis Mendez, broke the maiden 2 races ago on Halloween. Mr. Bold, 8-5 currently, and your favorite with good reason. Mike Smith riding for Jeff Bondy, a 2-year-old colt, undefeated in 2 starts. We'll see if he takes the 2 turns. I think he will like the distance of ground. Ascot Storm for John Sadler. 3rd place finish in the aforementioned Golden State Juvenile, was 2.5 to 1 that day. 5 to 1 here. Juan Hernandez still in the hunt for that rider's title. He's got 12 wins. Abel Cedillo's ridden 3 winners on the card, though, to put himself atop the jockey standings. There's Good with People. Ricky Gonzalez in the irons for Peter Miller. Fast. This colt's very fast. Will he get the 2 turns? That's what he has to answer today. Governor's Party for Danny Franco. 2nd last time out in a maiden event, but was placed first through disqualification. 50-1 here. Play Chicken for Team O'Neill. Don't forget, they had a runner run very well at 30-1, finishing 2nd yesterday in the Grade 2 Los Alamitos Futurity. Play Chicken is not that large of a price at 11-1, but definitely a contender here. Was 5th in the Golden State Juvenile after winning, going 2 turns, albeit on the turf course. Moving Fast for Sean McCarthy completes the post parade at 11-1. The blinkers are going on today, but that's coming off a victory. Another one who wanted 2 turns, but that was on the turf. I think the efforts on the dirt suggest that this gelding will be just fine, although by a noted turf runner here in Southern California, Geronimo, who made a couple of starts in the Breeders' Cup. So that's the field for today's King Glorious. Here is a look at the updated jockey standings through 8 races today. Abel Cedillo with 3 wins on the card. He is up there atop the standings with 13 victories. Juan Hernandez 1 behind him with 12. Jess Pfeiffer 1 behind Juan Hernandez with 11. All right, Simon, let's talk pace scenario here for the King Glorious. How does this race unfold? How do you see this stakes race shaping up?
I think it's going to be an honest pace, right? Because we've got a lot of horses coming out of some sprint races, and just by definition, horses that make that move usually show speed. The 10-play Chicken, even with blinkers going on today, it could be a pace factor. Mr. Bold, one of the favorites, could be showing speed. Ascot Storm. I think the pace is going to be honest. Good with People could be the quickest in here, although there's some distance limitations, I think, with him. I don't know whether they're going to try and change tactics, but it could be a scramble for the lead here.
We're going backtracking. This is Mr. Bold. Brittany, we're going to take a look at this effort. Mr. Bold on Halloween, getting that 2nd career victory in the 2nd career start. Very sharp. And the way he finishes, I know sprinters stretching out don't always have the same kind of kick that they do going 1 turn, but everything about this horse would suggest he's going to take to the 2 turns.
Well, you like what he's done from start 1 to start 2. He debuted in a state-bred maiden 50, sat somewhat close to the pace, and was able to draw off by 4.5 lengths. Mike Smith jumps aboard the 2nd time. He's farther off the pace, had to deal with the rail that day, but as you saw, went wide and drew off once again. So appears the 2 turns would be no sort of issue for the 6 Mr. Bold. The only issue you have, it's 9-5, so the current favorite. I thought because of the pace scenario that you had just mentioned, that the horse that moved in off the also eligible 11 Moving Fast, facing winners for the first time, who's a horse that could sit off the pace, has proven that this horse can go a route of ground. Blinkers are going on for Sean McCarthy. I'm not sure whether that's to get a touch more speed or maybe some more focus out of the horse, but a long shot, I think, worth looking at. And in terms of the jockey standings, it's going to come down to this race. Juan Hernandez, if he were to win, he would tie, and we would have a tie in the jockey standings because Jessica Pfeiffer is not riding this race. She's 2 behind. She does have 1 in the last race, and Juan Hernandez does not have a mount in the last race.
Okay, so Mr. Bold 9-5 currently. We've given you the update on the jockey standings. Mr. Bold, if that win, it would have nothing to do with it because it's Mike Smith. Let's talk about Good with People, Simon. And the question for this colt is whether he's going to take to the stretch out. But he's been awfully good going 1 turn. He's 3 for 5 with a runner-up finish in the graduation stakes. He already has a pair of stakes races under his belt.
He does, but off this race here, I mean, you'd have to question whether he can get the mile. That's a big question mark, right? He had a 3-length lead, but look at the margin with which he wins by at the end here. I mean, it diminishes to 3 parts of a length. And yeah, the runner-up, Positivity, was rolling late there, and I think the 4 was just coming to a little bit of walk. I think there are some distance limitations there with Good With People. So look, Peter Miller has to try it. You don't know until you try it here, and this was the only race on the slate that's available. So you'll know a lot more here in about 2 minutes. But for me, he'd be a play against just by virtue of the fact I think he might struggle to get the mile here against this group, as honest as the pace is going to be.
So, Simon, what do you make of the chances? My top pick in here is Taco Flavored Kisses for Simon Callahan, Jason Litt, Alex Solis, the owners here. Just because of the fact that this colt, he was very well meant for his first start, didn't perform that day, but breaks the maiden second time out. They go in a stakes company. And then they go to Golden Gate Fields. They get on the tap of the surface, and they go 2 turns. And I know it was only a 5-horse field, but it was the best race he ran, whether it's by speed figure, results, level, you name it. It was open company that day. It wasn't state breds. He had to work a little bit. And to me, that was the most encouraging effort anybody's shown here at 2 turns.
I'd agree with you. Look, and it was a short field, yeah, but the top 2 were 10 clear of the 3rd place finish. The runner-up came back to win. I think you can put a line through the most recent race as well. He was in that backtrack that we just shown. He was so far back he couldn't see it. But why was he far back? He had all kinds of issues early. He was pulling too hard. He got checked pretty severely, down the backside. I remember watching that race. So I think you get a reset here, and definitely the distance is not an issue. He's proven he can go 2 turns. It's just a class thing. Is he good enough? Is he going to find 1 or 2 just a little better than him? But he's bred for the distance, and I think he'll rebound off that last effort.
A little side note here, Brittany, we keep talking about the jockey standings, and Juan, Abel, and Jessica have been having an outstanding meet. How about Umberto Rispoli with a very uncharacteristic donut? 0 wins on the meet so far.
That is shocking for him, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is this his first Losail meeting, or was he here earlier before we went to Del Mar? Because it is a quirky track. It's something you got to get used to.
I also think he's just, had business go crazy with the Del Mar meeting and then the subsequent meets here and then traveling back and forth. He's only had 12 mounts here at Losail, so you can't really lock in the way that he's locked in before here whilst in Southern California. I think that's another problem with it. But Taco Flavored Kiss is a horse he knows real well. He's at 5-1. Who are we forgetting, though, Brittany? I feel like we've talked about a number of the runners in here, but we've yet to touch the entire field. So give me a price at some point in this field that you think has a live long shot look.
Yeah, the 11 is where I would go for the price, moving fast. I'm with you on Taco Flavored Kisses as a top selection. Ken Rudolph, before he signed off earlier today, he said that he liked Play Chicken for Doug O'Neill, stretching back out to a route of ground where this horse broke the maiden. Now, yes, we've been talking jockey standings, trainer standings. Doug O'Neill could put himself right into the mix with a victory here.
He's always in the mix, though, isn't he, with the size of his stable and the rate at which they win? Yeah, it's interesting how all these things are coming down to the final few races of the day. They're approaching the starting gate here for the King Glorious. We have some nice Calbreds lined up. The winner here gets the lion's share of a $100,000 purse. And we started our coverage with Speak of California Chrome, and this was the first victory on that win streak that took him all the way through the second jewel of the Triple Crown, and a career that would see him retire, although that number was eclipsed quite quickly, as the richest racehorse in North American history. It would be unlikely we saw another California Chrome come out of this race, Simon, but give me 2 names that you think we can possibly see become pretty good racehorses, stakes horses down the line.
I think the 7 Ascot Storm for sure. I think he's a horse that could improve here. There's no question about that. And the 6 Mr. Bold, who is vying for favoritism. Both these horses, I think, will appreciate the extra real estate, and that bodes well as their careers move forward.
Also, thank you to the California Thoroughbred Breeders Association. It pays to have a Calbred, the King Glorious. A great example of why. Good with People is a great example of why it pays to have a Calbred. It's a colt by Curlin and Mischief. It's his 2-year-old campaign. He's made $200,000. He's already rattled off 2 stakes victories, and he's making his 5th fifth stakes race and his fourth Calbred Stakes appearance here today. So always pays to have a Calbred as they go into the gate. Brittany, give me your final thoughts on this bunch.
Final thoughts. Simon Callahan thinks his horse is live, so I'm going with Taco Flavored Kisses as my top pick, 5-1. I think a very good price, but we could see something special from the 6 Mr. Bold stretching out, so I respect the favorite.
Simon?
I'm all about the 7, Ascot Storm.
Okay, 9-2 for him. I'm seeing things the same way Brittany is. I think the pace scenario and the experience of 2 turns are going to work into the favor of Taco Flavored Kisses. This is a colt we saw early on in the summer. We had expectations for him. He's lived up to them thus far with a couple of wins from 5 starts. Let's see if he can get a stakes victory here today. In the King Glorious, they're just about set for a start with your favorite going into the gate at 2-1, Mr. Bold for Jeff Bondy and Hall of Famer Mike Smith in the irons. Michael Ronan brings you the call.
Moving fast will complete the line. Great battle for favouritism. Mr. Bold, number 6, has it fractionally at 9-5. Ahead of number 8, Good With People, 2-1. Ascot Storm drawn between them is 7-2. They're ready to go. Racing! Out wide, Play Chicken is the first away. Good With People showing speed with Mr. Bold. They're the first 3 to greet the judges with a lap to go. Taco Flavored Kisses right behind them near the inside, followed in the Gold Silks by Ascot Storm, and back on the inside is Wedding Groom midfield, followed by a 3-wide Governor's Party. Moving fast, hung out 4 wide, 8 lengths off the speed, followed by Club Cal. And from the get-go, 3 lengths last. As they head out back, it's Mr. Bold straight to the lead by a length and a half. Good With People second. Taco Flavored Kisses third. Play Chicken drops to 4th, followed by Ascot Storm. Wedding Groomers midfield on the inside. Club Cal off the fence is splitting horses. Governor's Party is 4 wide and moving fast, trapped out 5 deep, going up toward the half-mile pole. At the rear of the field is From the Get-Go. Into the far turn with 3.5 furlongs to go. Good With People is moving up alongside Mr. Bold, and they are head and head into the far turn, pursued by Play Chicken 3 wide, and Club Cal is moving up out 4 wide within a length of the lead. He's generating a threat. They're followed into the stretch by Taco Flavored Kisses on the inside of Moving Fast, clear of From the Get-Go. A quarter mile from home in the King Glorious. Good With People has moved past Mr. Bold. Here's Play Chicken tackling strongly. A length away to Club Cal, followed between horses by Taco Flavored Kisses. Moving fast is the deepest. Play Chicken takes the lead. Play Chicken with a 16th to go in front from Moving Fast and Club Cal. Play Chicken threatened late by Moving Fast. Play Chicken holds on grimly. Play Chicken in the King Glorious has won from Moving Fast, Club Cal. Mr. Bold on the inside prominent in a 3-way photo for 4th with Taco Flavored Kisses and Good With People.
Play Chicken with the mild upset here in the King Glorious, scoring for Mario Gutierrez and Doug O'Neill. How about this finish here, Simon? They're lining up 5 wide as they turn for home.
Yeah, I mean, the pace was honest. 2 or 3 challenging for the lead. 3 here mid-stretch. Good With People tried his best, but distance came to be his enemy right about here, deep stretch. And then here come the closers. A nice run from the 11, Moving Fast, who really rallied nicely down the center of the track there. But the 10 had already launched for home. Play Chicken with the blinkers going on. Just had a little bit of a jump, a little bit of an advantage over the 11 there. Was managed to hold on at odds of, is that 13-1? Over 16-1 here in the King Glorious.
Yeah, this try is going to pace. 13-1, 16-1, 15-1 on your top 3 finishers. 10, 11, 1, a photo for the 4th place money. Look, Team O'Neill almost sprung a huge upset at 30-1 yesterday in the Futurity, also for 2-year-olds. Today with Play Chicken, they get the job done. This colt by Square Eddie for Redham Racing, a homebred with Mario Gutierrez in the irons. Fantastic finish here in the King Glorious. We'll have the post-race reactions and the finale here at Los Al in a little bit, but let's get back to Scott Hazelton as they're getting postward for the Open Heart Mountaineer.
And they've had some rain there in Chester, West Virginia, as you can clearly see on the course. Sloppy conditions this evening at Mountaineer, and there are a couple of scratches in here. Take out the 1, 5, and 9. It's the 2-horse Sudden Impulse, who's 3-5 for Jimmy Chapman. Isaiah Ayala is in the saddle, a daughter of Union Rags, who was 5th on debut as the heavy favorite in that race back on December 7th. So comes back less than 2 weeks, gets off the rail, actually on the rail again now with the scratch of the 1. She drew post 1, so that's one thing that she's going to have to show is that she can break sharply from that inside post here today against this group. Really not a clear second choice versus the favorite. The 6 is 4-1. I'm the best of 2 for Jennifer Johnson, winless in 7 tries already at the age of 2. If the 2 breaks, she should win. That's why she's 3-5 if she breaks well. Let's go to Peter Barry. It's race 1, Mountaineer.
Bit stubborn at the moment, loves to veto. Sudden Impulse standing okay. Gate 1. Now they're all set for the opener. And they're off and racing. Breaking out of touch was Royal Toulouse, and Sudden Impulse broke towards the inside. Great Jazz wins the break and leads by 2. Sudden Impulse now railing through along with Mi Amiga Diabla. I Am the Best 2 is outside those, and out 4 wide early is Loves to Vita as they go inside the half mile. And well back last is Royal and Toulouse. So they head to the turn now. Sudden Impulse goes through along the inside to take up the running. In second, 3 wide is Great Jazz, Mi Amiga Diablo the centre. Then comes I Am the Best 2. Loves to Vita still out wide, and tailed off is Royal and Toulouse. Going by the quarter pole, and Sudden Impulse has now moved clear. Out 4 deep, Loves to Vito. Gone very wide, Loves to Vito, and then comes I Am the Best 2, followed by Mi Amiga Diablo, Great Jazz, and well back still is Royal and Toulouse, but Sudden Impulse has kicked about 4 in front. Loves to Vito down the outside is closing. It's Sudden Impulse, Loves to Vito coming on. Here's Loves to Vito moving up to take the lead. Not quite Loves to Vito, Sudden Impulse fought back. Came out a bit. Sudden Impulse beat Loves to Vito about 8 lengths away. Third, I Am the Best 2. And a 4th in was Mi Amiga Diablo.
Favorite gets to the wire first. That's Sudden Impulse, the 2. She wasn't sharp away from the gate, but they always gave her a lot of room to work with down on the inside. At this point in time, she's up by 3 as the odds-on favorite. But here comes the 7, Loves to Vito, with Louis Cologne in the saddle. And does the 2 come out enough to justify an objection? You can see she drifts out pretty significantly close to the wire. Not sure if there was contact there, but obviously the stewards will take a look at a head-on. For the time being, 276 in the opener at Mountaineer. We'll let you know if the stewards are going to take a peek at this one. Kickoff racing in Chester, West Virginia. Don't forget about the best bet in racing tonight. The early pick 4, Los Al quarters, here on TVG.
Mare produce records are essential for breeding decisions, sales catalog research, buying and selling decisions. The Equine Line Mare Produce Records online service and apps provide you with unlimited access to mare produce information from all over the world, with racing and auction history for thoroughbred mares and foals. When it comes to mare produce records, there's one source with every mare, every foal, everywhere. EquineLine.com.
Real players, real stories.
First, I saw the commercial, then my friend recommended Betfair, and I signed up that day.
On Betfair Casino, you can play your favorite casino games anywhere in New Jersey, including blackjack, roulette, slots, and more.
It's just so much fun.
When I play online, I prefer Betfair.
No long drives to the casino. No hassle.
If you're still driving to the casinos, save the gas and tolls. Put that money in your pocket.
Joining is easy. Go to BetfairCasino.com or download the app and sign up today.
I saw the commercial on TV, downloaded the app, and within minutes, I was playing.
And now, when you join, you can play your first day risk-free up to $200.
You sign up, you play your first day risk-free. How great is that?
I've played those other online casinos, but for me, Betfair is the best.
I wish I signed up earlier. It's just so much fun.
Join the fun today at Betfair Casino.
Hey, neighbor, we gotta talk.
Well, Jay,
No, he only comes to Bugle on race days.
Race days?
With the TVG app, every day is race day. You can place bets right in your phone, even stream live races.
Top-notch runners facing off.
I can have a day at the track whenever I want, right at home.
Coming through, guys.
Go get him, Mike.
Mike Smith?
Yeah, Mike Smith.
There's a new home of horse racing, yours. Get a 50% bonus on your first deposit up to $250.
There's Play Chicken. Not good advice, but it is a pretty nice horse, as this one is 2 for 3 lifetime, picks up a stakes victory in just his 3rd career start. Simon, I think this one might have a bright future.
Yeah, true homebred for Paul Redden by Square Eddie. The blinkers went on today, 13-1. That's a great return, $29. With moving fast in off the also eligibles to finish second, that exacta 86-1. A good healthy
So
exacta that pick 3, 3-8-10, then 2-69-10.
So with Mario winning that race, that locks up the jockey title for Abel Cedillo as he wins the belt buckle here. And he did so with a natural hat trick on closing day. He won 3 races on the card. Excellent horsemanship. And he is a deserving title. Look, he's been in California for a year and a handful of months. That's his 3rd riding title. He don't mess around. Kudos to him. And you know what? Kudos to Juan Hernandez, the consistency he's shown here in Southern California, and Jessica Pfeiffer finishing 3rd, just a couple wins off that pace. And she could actually finish 2nd if she wins the finale. She's the only one of those 3 that has a mount in the nightcap. Coming up in just about 15 minutes. Race number 10. We'll close things out. We have a mile event here. Maiden Claiming Company, $30,000 price tag for these 2-year-old fillies. Gemstone Gal is a scratch, so is Martique Miss. Simon, Sideways Suances, easy for you to say, 5-2.
Yeah, drops in class here and comes out of some maiden special weight. So I think the price is going to come down on Sideways Suances for Tyler Bays and Jeff Mullins. Makes a lot of sense. Was beaten by Sensible Cat, who came back and won pretty impressively, won the Soviet Problem Stakes race. So with the jockey standings in the books, it's still tied at the top for the trainer standings. Jonathan Wong, Bob Baffert, they're tied at the top. That wraps it up there because Baffert doesn't have a runner and Wong doesn't have a runner in here. So that's going to remain tied 5 apiece.
Yeah, and once again, Stephen Miotti and Isidro Tamayo are tied for 4th. Jonathan Wong, Bob Baffert, Doug O'Neill, a 3-way tie for first. We've yet to show that graphic correctly today. 14 minutes away from race number 10 here at Los Al. Sideways Suances, your current favorite. We have plenty of time to talk about this one. We have plenty of time to talk about Mountaineer, and we'll talk about some of the racing action we've seen over the past weekend here at Los Alamitos when we return.
New year, new opportunity. Discover quality broodmares, broodmare prospects, short yearlings, and more, including rare offerings from the dispersals of the historic Samson Farm, Paul P. Papa Jr., and Spry Family Farm at the Keeneland January Horses of All Ages sale, January 11th through 14th.
Eclipse champion Run Happy, a 3-time Grade 1 winner, record setter, and undefeated in sprint competition. Run Happy's first foals have hit the track. His juvenile winners include Run Snappy at Santa Anita, She's Happy at Keeneland, and this impressive performance from Runway Magic at Churchill.
Yeah. Runway Magic wins by 3.
Eclipse champion Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
I was born inside this delta.
Win, you win. Has taken command close to home. Win, you win.
Was raising horses.
They come down to the wire, and Minute to Stardom upsets them at 20-1.
Shine through. Gotta get in, it's a winning. All the world's been waiting on you.
I saw the commercial on TV, downloaded the app, and within minutes I was playing.
With Betfair Casino, you can play your favorite casino games anywhere in New Jersey.
I was literally sitting on my couch with nothing to do. I put $20 into my account and I hit for $17,000.
Join today to play your first day risk-free up to $200.
You sign up, you play your first day risk-free. How great is that?
Join the fun today at Betfair Casino.
Welcome back to the program. We are 11 minutes away from race number 10. They're saddled, waiting the call of riders up, and we're also waiting the payouts for the late pick 4 and then the pick 6. It was a mandatory payout, but it was such a formful sequence up until that 13-1 upset in the King Glorious that Simon, the payout should be okay, but I don't think we were in risk of that mandatory payout having to come into play.
First two, it was pretty formful, the first leg of this late pick 4. So the pick 4 Will Pays are in the odds bar. Their favorite, 1,100 to the favorite right now. The 3 at 5 to 2, 1,200 to the 11 at 3 to 1, and 1,200. Doug O'Neill, who actually misstated earlier, could win the trainer's title with a victory in this race. He could get to 6 wins if he gets the job done here, and he will force a payout of $1,200.
And then, of course, we'll have nighttime racing here at Los Al, which gets underway about an hour after the last post, and the $1 pick 4 to start their card, affectionately known as the best bet in racing. So, Scotty, we've got some time here before post-parade. What's going on with you?
I'm going to deliver some prices from the opener at Mountaineer, where they quickly made this official. Stewards, no inquiry posted as the 2 drifted out late. Sudden impulse holding on for the victory. She was desperate for the wire. Loves Tavito. Tried to rally up and get there, but ends up second. I'm the best 2, 7-2. Rounds out a 50-cent trifecta, which returns $7.90. Race number 2 is a 2-year-old maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies. And so a split of the opener. A couple of scratches. Hellcat Warrior is the favorite right now. That's the number 6 horse for Tina LaRue, daughter of Vancouver, who's had 3 runs here at Mountaineer. She has not been quick away from the starting gate. She'll be coming on late if she's able to win this race, other than the fact that maybe she just completely reverses course as far as her speed away from the gate. Jimmy Chapman looking to take the early double. He's got a first-time starter on the outside. That's Moonlight Kiss for himself, co-owner of this Malibu Moon filly. She should be ready to go. She's had published workouts since the end of September at the very least. And then Cirillo Goriastieta, we saw him burst onto the scene at Keeneland with a 2-year-old winner last year. He's got the rail filly. Watch out for her. 2-1 in the morning line, currently sitting at 6-1. So, Mike, that second race, looking forward to it at Mountaineer in 10 minutes. I guess the biggest question is for you, and I think a lot of the viewers out there, who's in 4th and 5th in these trainer standings at Los Alamitos? That's what I want to know.
It's a matter of opinion, right? I'm of the opinion that if you have 3 people ahead of you in the standings, that would make you 4th. We had a tie for 3rd on our standings, but that would actually be a tie for 4th because there's 3 people. I don't know. Let's not split hairs here. Red Flag would go postward as your favorite in yesterday's Los Alamitos Futurity, a Grade 2 affair that Bob Baffert had won a record 12 times going into yesterday, including all 6 runnings here at Los Alamitos. Would he win 7 in a row? Well, to do so, Spielberg, his only charge, would need to get there in front. Let's see how they ran yesterday, the Los Alamitos Futurity, from right here at Los Alamitos.
Racing. Western and Positivity collided after the start. Positivity checked back to last, and Petruchio goes back there with him. The Great One, Western and Spielberg are the first 3 to greet the judges on the first occasion. With Red Flag behind them 4th, Positivity moves to 5th, and Petruchio 6th and last at the 7/8 pole, where the maiden will set the pace. The Great One leading from Western, followed by Spielberg outside Red Flag. Positivity 5 or 6 lengths off the lead, and Petruchio to his inside trails onto the back stretch past the 6 furlong marker. It's the Great One in charge by 1 length. Western second, Spielberg a 3 wide third. Red Flag the fence, followed by Petruchio, and last of all is Positivity at the 5/8 pole in the Los Alamitos Futurity, where the Great One remains at the top end of the field, leading by a length and a half from Western. Red Flag is making progress along the inside. Spielberg continues to chart a 3-wide course by the half-mile pole. 2.5 lengths Petruchio, fifth into the far turn, and the Calbred Positivity brings up the rear. 3/8 from home as they sweep around the far bend, and it's the Great One in front by a length and 3/4 from Spielberg, followed by Western. Red Flag's on the inside. Spielberg has been able to move a couple of lengths clear of Red Flag, who's now being guided off the rail by Espinosa, and Petruchio is staking his claim down the extreme outside. 3/16 left to go, and it's the Great One still the leader by 2 lengths from Spielberg. A gap of 3 or 4 lengths to Red Flag, who has hoisted the white flag. Petruchio getting past him, a 16th left to go, and Spielberg is ranging after the Great One. The Great One tries to cling on as Spielberg throws down the gauntlet. Spielberg comes at the Great One. Photo head-bobbing finish. It's either the Great One or Spielberg, with Petruchio running on stoutly for third, clear of Red Flag.
Simon, it doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter from where, it doesn't matter by luck, skill, nose bob by 10 lengths. Bob Baffert is just unstoppable with these 2-year-old races in California.
Yeah, it's no question about that. And he's won every edition of the Los Al Futurity since it's been run at Los Alamitos, since moving from Betfair Hollywood Park. 13 in all. I mean, and the list goes on. I mean, the Del Mar Futurity talked about it. The Awesome again, not the Awesome again, the front runner at Santa Anita. I mean, the list is endless, and he ekes out another one here. Huge effort from the Doug O'Neill maiden there to run second. He ran a massive race at a big price.
Yeah, he joins the likes of Real Quiet, Captain Steve, Point Given, Pioneer of the Isle, Liaison, Looking at Lucky, Dortmund, More Spirit, Mastery, Mackenzie, and most recently, Improbable in 1,000 Words. I mean, those are champions. There's Derby winners. There's Preakness winners. There are some of the best horses we've seen in California, and Spielberg adds his name to that list of Bob Baffert winners of the Los Alamitos Futurity. And a heck of a race from the Great One, Simon. That horse ran as well as he ever has at 30-1 and almost pulled the monstrous upset.
Yeah, nice ride from Abel Sadilla because he took it to him early. The biggest disappointment of the race was the favorite Red Flag, who had nothing to offer turning for home. I don't think it was the distance was an issue. He looked empty at the top of the stretch.
That was yesterday's feature, the Los Alamitos Futurity, the Grade 2 $200,000 affair. And now here at Los Al, they're on the track for race number 10, as we're about to close out the daytime races and close out this meet. Doug O'Neill can still get that training title, as he would be 6 wins would be number 1. You saw Gemstone Gallows, a scratch brewed big, leading him onto the track at 25-1. Ramon Guzzi for Sergio Morfin. Mile in distance, Sideways Suances has gone a mile twice, but on the turf course, trying the dirt for the first time since the debut. It's 2-year-old filly by Mizzenmast. Here's Redemption Code for Carla Gaines. 30-1 in the debut, ran like it. Jessa Pfeiffer will be in the irons at 5-1. She's looking to pick up another win. That would get her to 11 on the meet. Copper Wings is 70-1 for Jose De La Torre. And Eric Garcia riding this 2-year-old filly by Champ Pegasus. The 6 is a scratch. The 7, 10-1 C with the top. Another firster. This one for Sal Gonzalez will be piloted by Eswan Flores, a filly who's been drilling everywhere from Zia Park to Del Mar to Los Al, and now her debut here. Lady Mo, the 8 horse is 23-1 for Ruben Gomez. Just really tough to endorse. Has never been beaten by less than 15 lengths and has been beaten by 30 or more twice. Fictional coming up next. This one makes a little more sense than the horse to her inside, at least. She was 3rd last time out in a field of 9 at Golden Gate Fields in a maiden 25. That's not the bottom there. They actually run at a lower level. So this is a class drop, even though it looks as if the price tag is different. I'm telling you, she's going to be facing tougher competition there than she will at the basement ranks of the maiden 30s here in Southern California. Simmer Down, 9-1 for Matthew Troy. This one is a bit of a price, has some questionable form at best. And then we do get some also eligibles drawing in here. Princess Sadie, Mama Superior, will both get a chance to run because of the scratches to their inside. Princess Sadie, 7-2. Alexi Centeno piloting this one for Team O'Neill. This will be the horse that could get him the belt buckle for leading trainer at this meet. And then Mama Superior at 7-2 on the outside for Steve Knapp. 0 for 3 and has not lit the board. That's your field, Simon, for race number 10. So where do we begin?
I think you begin with the 3 Sideways Suances. I think that horse makes a lot of sense. Big class drop in play. Last 2 starts, you know, have been respectable against some good runners like Sensible Cat, who won the Soviet problem. So big class drop here, and I think it wakes up the 3 here this afternoon. Tyler Bays, Jeff Mullins.
Yeah, you know, that's who I had as my top pick in this race, and it was actually my single in the pick 6. I got knocked out after 3 legs, so the pick 6 is meaningless to me. But it might not be meaningless to you. It was pretty formful until the last race here, and I think it'll be a nice payout. We'll show it to you when we get it, but you know the carryover was minor of 22,000, but they bet another 375,000 or so into it, so it's a handsome pool with that payout today. We'll see what those payouts are as soon as we can pull them for you. But look, a maiden 30 claimer here, Simon. I would give, and like I said, fictional. It's different, right? Because for a 2-year-old, I think maiden 30 is as low as you can run here in California, in Southern California. It's not the lowest you can run up north at Golden Gate. So even though this filly was in for 25,000, I don't think fictional going from north to south is dropping in class going from 25 to 30.
No, I think you're right. I think that's a fair statement, absolutely. And I think that the move here is not an issue. We've seen Golden Gate horses perform well. I don't think the class move's an issue. And again, I think the bigger thing for fictional may be the distance. I think the horse could improve with the stretch out here. Look, you look at the pedigree, Calf Wine. He was a winner of the Louisiana Derby out of a Stephen Got Even mare. Kind of got an even running style. That's a horse that actually could improve with the real estate here.
All right, so our research department, headed up by the one and only Scott Hazelton, actually texted me the Will Pays. I guess I could have done it myself and just picked it up on the phone and done a screenshot with my TVG app, but I was too distracted, and I'm not good at multitasking. So the pick 6 Will Pays ranging anywhere on the low end, $3,711. Your favorite in the pick 6, actually that's a 5 of 6. Those are 2 5 of 6s on the low end. So the favorite in the pick 6 paying $23,000. It'll pay 5 of 6 to the 2 and the 5, and the lowest payout. Actually, no, I lied. The lowest payout is the $8,451. That is your lowest payout, 6 out of 6 to the 12, who draws an off the also eligible and is now your favorite in Mama Superior. So that's your lowest payout. I'll get through this without fumbling too much. And then it goes up from there, 15,000 to the 11, 23,000 to the 3, and I was looking to the 3 because he was favoring the wagering. It could pay in excess of $125,000 should the 9 or the 4 win, Simon. So as formful as it started, you just get that one big price in there in the pick 6 with the $2 increment, makes it tough.
Yeah, it does. Makes it very, very tough. Yeah, I mean, you know, look, I know there's a time when we've, you know, lessened these increments down to 50 cents, and in the case of some jackpots, 20 cents. But look, it's a little harder. It's a harder handicapping puzzle when the denominations are a little higher, but the reward is so much greater. And we can see that here in this pick 4 situation, pick 6 situation, 23,000 it looks like to the favorite. So, yeah, I like it. I mean, as Kurt Hoover says, they keep it old school here at Los Alamitos.
They certainly do. And as they go to the starting gate here, the final race of the day, this will be the final race of the meet. And everything decided but the trainer standings is we have a 3-way tie, Wong, Baffert, O'Neill. And it could be Team O'Neill by themselves with a victory here if Princess Sadie scores. How do you assess the chances of Princess Sadie here at 7-2, Simon?
Got a big shot. Huge shot, I think, Princess Sadie, making the same drop as the favorite, right? I mean, it's a pretty significant drop. Debuted for maiden 50 and was bet down that day, and since then has been protected. They tried the grass. They had to with the pedigree, so now I think it's go time. They come to a realistic spot here today. The thing with Princess Sadie, she's just got to get a good position, that run into the first turn from the outside draw.
They're at the post, and I don't know who's going to be favored. It's either going to be Mama Superior or Sideways Suances. They're both at 5-2 as they go in. A few more doubloons bet on the Mizzenmast filly for Jeff Mullins, drawn toward the inside, coming from post number 2. We shall see exactly how it unfolds in just a matter of moments. They're going into the starting gate here for race number 10, the final race of this thoroughbred meet, the final daytime thoroughbred race of 2020 at Los Alamitos. A couple left to load and we'll be set for a start. They will break right from the front of the grandstand here for the mile configuration. We go to Michael Rona for the call.
Copper Wings lining up. Princess Sadie coming forward. 3-1 favourite. And a chance to give Doug O'Neill the riding title. He jumped into a 3-way tie, winning the King Gloria Stakes. See You at the Top will be one of the last in with Mama Superior. Now it's 7-2 for Princess Sadie, co-favourite with number 3 Sideways Suances. Racing. Lady Mo is the first to appear. Fictional showing speed. They both have stretch out speed. They're the first two to greet the judges. With Redemption Code on the inside, handily positioned. Simmer Down, Mama Superior wider out. Followed then by See You at the Top, midfield on the outside of Sideways Suances. 3 lengths to Copper Wings, 3 more lengths to Brood Big, and a half-dozen lengths to Princess Sadie, who's tailing off a clear last in the run past the 6-furlong pole in the back stretch. Mama Superior leads at gigantic odds. From Lady Mo on the inside, Fictional now 2 lengths back third. Ahead of Simmer Down, then comes Sideways Suances, splitting horses. See You at the Top travels wide toward the half-mile pole. Redemption Codes along the fence, 5 from the front. 4 lengths to Copper Wings, 8 lengths to Brood Big, and 5 lengths off to Princess Sadie, a conspicuous last. 25 lengths off the lead with 3.5 furlongs left to go. It's Mama Superior leading from Fictional as they sweep around the far turn. Sideways Suances moving up sharply. It's Sideways Suances coming after Mama Superior as they draw to the top of the lane. See You at the Top round the outside and the green cap as they swing for home at the quarter pole. Simmer Down is between horses, and Fictional's back on the inside as they come past the 3/16ths, where it's Mama Superior with the lead from Simmer Down, Sideways Suances, followed by See You at the Top and Fictional. Mama Superior is the leader at astronomical odds. Do I have the right horse? Mama Superior is clear by a couple of lengths. Mama Superior winning from Sideways Suances, Simmer Down, and See You at the Top, and then came Fictional.
Mama Superior and Thiago Pereira scoring in the finale here. And doing so off the also eligible list. Went off as one of your favorites here, Simon. Let's pick up the stretch drive at the quarter pole.
Easy win here for Mama Superior. Maybe she got dismissed here. Big odds, Michael Rona. Look, I think it's always too good to go back and look and see reasons how this horse could have won. Again, another one by Super Saver stretching out. But look at the race she comes out of. Was won by Brilliant Cut. Third in that race was Yellow Dress. Yellow Dress won race 8 yesterday. That was a maiden beating winners. And the 7th place finisher in that race was Martinique Miss, who scratched out of here and might have been the favorite. And Mama Superior was in front of her that day. Look, I know it's redboarding, but it's also looking back and seeing how we could have come up with that horse. So a massive, massive price here to wrap up the LosAl winter season.
Oh, 6-5 actually. This horse off the also eligible is not a massive price, but
yeah, I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Michael Rona said a massive price here, right? She was at the favorites role at the time going in the gate. I think he said in the call she was a massive price. Don't quite get it.
I'll be honest, I couldn't hear Michael Rona, even though I'm at the track, because the public address system just bounces off the top of the set here. So I didn't hear what he was saying. But Mama Superior at 6-5 was your favorite and took a massive amount of money because went into the gate as your second choice. The horse that did go into the gate as your favorite, Sideways Suances, comes out of the gate at 7-2 and crosses the wire at what would have been a $9 payout, should have won. But Mama Superior, Thiago Pereira, a filly by Super Saver for Steve Knapp and Thompson Racing LLC, closes things out here We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll have prices, payouts, also get you out to Mountaineer for some racing there. We're not that far from the opener at Remington Park either.
In his initial crop, I was fortunate enough to get 3 or 4 Uncle Mo's. I come down here the following fall to find, hopefully find and purchase a very good Uncle Mo. And I found Motown. Looked like a very fast horse with a short back that could get the distance. The same qualities that I saw in Uncle Mo himself. So we took him back to Belmont Park and stretched him out to a mile. And he just loved that. He stretched out and won very easily.
Motown is pulling away. Motown by 5, by 6. Motown under the wire, a 7-length winner.
In the Remsen Stakes, the end of November, he sat behind the leaders and finished up full of run and won going away.
It's a Motown, the son of Uncle Mo, to win the Remsen with Johnny Velasquez.
Obviously, Uncle Mo was a spectacular 2-year-old, and there's a lot of speed on his dam side too. His second dam is a graded stakes winning fast Carson City mare, and then he goes back to a full sister to raise a native who was a brilliant unbeaten champion 2-year-old, and of course starred Mr. Prospector. Nunny was an outstanding 2-year-old on the dirt, but at 3, then went to the Hollywood Derby and won the Hollywood Derby, a grade 1 on the turf.
Motown in the centre of the track, and here's Channel Maker flying late in the pink down at the rail. They come for Home Sharp Samurai. Motown flying, Channel Maker down at the rail, but Motown will win a thriller. Motown to win it.
Uncle Mo made a phenomenal start at stud, a world record-breaking start with 25 first crop stakes winners. You know, you can cross all the Mr. Prospector line, the Fabiano line, the Stormcat line, and Uncle Mo's done very, very well with those. So it makes his sons tremendous prospects. When you've got a horse like this that was a precocious 2-year-old and a grade 1 winner going a distance on turf, you've got such a wide range of mares you can breed him to.
Catch up on Mountaineer 2. Hellcat Warrior sent off as the post-time favorite, 3-2.
Sudden impulse. Now they're all set. They're off and racing, and Hellcat Warrior tonight has won the start. La Tapatia away quickly. Barrios is riding the ears off Hellcat Warrior, who made up about 20 lengths in the stretch last start. Now finds herself on the lead. By a head over La Tapatia. Third early is Zophie. Little Bird Flash is fourth along the inside as they head to the turn. They're out by about 6 or 7 lengths over Cutie Bly. Next to last, after a length on the inside, comes Moonlight Kiss. And well back at the tail is the other first-timer, Cruise and Storm. Well, now La Tapatia on the outside has grabbed the lead. Hellcat Warrior on the inside fights back, though. Little Bird Flashes on the outside, 3 deep as they come for home, and they are clear of Moonlight Kiss, and on the outside is Cutie Bly. Around the bend, and Hellcat Warrior now kicks away by 2.5, 3 lengths. La Tapatia second. Then comes Little Bird Flash, followed by Cutie Bly, but it's Hellcat Warrior in front, going nicely. Out by 4 or 5 lengths to La Tapatia. And Hellcat Warrior, much too good for them. Hellcat Warrior wins by 4. Little Bird Flash second, third La Tapatia, and fourth in was Cutie Bly.
Hellcat Warrior, you heard it from Peter Barry. The key was getting away from the gates quickly, something that she had not done in 4 previous races. Hellcat Warrior 5 even, 260, 220. Favorites take the first 2 races. Not a bad double with the 2 favorites winning $14.60. So Mountaineer 2 is in the books. Race number 3 is in approximately 12 minutes. Maiden 4,000 claimers, a mile 70 the distance for that upcoming 3rd race at Mountaineer. Let's go back to Mike Joyce to wrap up closing day at Los Al.
It's been an outstanding meeting, and I think we got to see a whole lot. We saw history, more of the same history we've grown accustomed to, with Bob Baffert winning his 7th consecutive Los Alamitos Futurity this past weekend. And then we saw a new face, Jessica Pfeiffer, have the best meet thus far of her young career. This apprentice had her first 3-win day. She finishes the meet 3rd in the standings. And she lost to a rider, Abel Cedillo, who came down to Southern California last year. This is his 3rd riding title of the meets here in SoCal, including Del Mar last year. And look, he did so with a 3-win day to cap off the meeting. Fantastic work. Excellent rider. The future is bright for the jockey colony here in Southern California. And then we cap it off with the King Glorious, Team O'Neill, with an excellent performance throughout the meet to finish tied in the trainer standings. 3 leading trainers with Jonathan Wong, Bob Baffert, and Doug O'Neill. On a personal note, I just want to say, as we close out the meet here at 2020 at Los Alamitos, I just want to say thank you to the Los Alamitos Racecourse family, and specifically Doc Allred. Simon, I don't know if you knew this about me, but when I was coming out of college and looking for a place to land, I needed a job. Doc Allred was one of the first people I approached. He has been a friend of my family's for a long time. My dad knew him well from his years in racing. And Doc was actually the one that steered me toward TVG. And in the early days of TVG, in 2001, 2002, when we needed to get our ADW license, it was Doc that stepped up to the plate. The Pacific Coast Quarter Horse Racing Association was the horsemen's group that we originally had that year-round agreement with that we needed to operate. Without Doc, without the PCQHRA, without the quarters, who knows if TVG is even here today? So I think everybody at TVG owes a great debt of gratitude to this place. And this has been my home for years and years. I hosted the quarters for 12 years with Dave Weaver, Les Onaka. This was really a place where Todd Schrupp sprouted his wings as the creative host that he is. Our vice president and senior producer, Chris Lee, and vice president and head of television, Kevin Grigsby, they did a lot of work on the programming here. So this has really been a home for us at TVG. And I just want to extend thanks to everybody here at Los Alamitos for everything they've done to make us feel welcome.
Yeah, it's not only a home for TVG, it's a home for California horse racing. Without Doc Allred, the landscape of California horse racing might look a lot different what's gone on here in the last 6 or 7 years. When Betfair Hollywood Park went to the wayside, Doc Allred stepped up. When there were fires down at San Luis Rey, Doc Allred stepped up. He always steps up. He puts the horseman first, and without him, I think we'd have a very different picture, and it wouldn't be a good one here in California.
No, I'm with you on that. So for everyone here at TVG that made these shows possible, we thank Los Alamitos, specifically Doc Allred, for all he's done for us, for all he's done for California. Here are the prices for the final race of this thoroughbred meeting here. Don't forget, we still got a night of racing coming up with the best bet in racing starting just 47 minutes from now, the early pick 4 in the quarter horses. But Mama Superior closed things out. $4.60 for your $2 win wager was a heavy favorite. The late pick 4 paid $810. It's actually, the way that pick 4 started, you probably didn't think you were going to get $810, especially landing on a 6-5 favorite. You can thank the upset winner of the King Glorious for that. That pick 6 of 6, $8,451.80. And 5 of 6, remember those payouts? 5 of 6, $112.80. And the high 5, $2,207.60. That's going to do it here at Los Al for today. We'll be back in the saddle in 45 minutes with the nighttime program, but plenty of racing in between with Mountaineer and Remington Park. We're going to take a break. Trackside Live will be back after this.
Hey, what's this all about?
Well, these guys?
Yeah.
They're only here in race day.
Such a brilliant ride from off the pace. You must have been confident going into the turn.
It did.
See, with the TVG app, I can have a day at the track whenever I want, right at home. Look, you can track results, stream live races. You can even place bets, all from your phone.
All from your phone.
There's a new home of horse racing. Yours. Get a 50% bonus on your first deposit up to $250.
You couldn't compose a better pedigree. A half-brother to Beholder.
Beholder's gonna go all the way.
A half-brother to Into Mischief.
Into Mischief wins the Cash Call Futurity.
The most versatile performer from this brilliant family.
Mendelssohn's gonna do it. Mendelssohn has won it by a length.
What a win by Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn by a conservative 17 lengths.
Scat Daddy's best-bred son at stud. Mendelssohn.
If your long-term disability claim was denied, listen closely. You may be able to recover money. Unum is one of the largest disability insurance carriers, and companies you know like Colonial Life, New York Life, and National Life Group are all part of the Unum family. Unum was fined millions for wrongly denying claims. You may be owed compensation. Let us help you through the appeal process.
Call 1-800-664-2191 for your free legal consultation. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Nearly half a century ago, Ernest Samuel began building a legacy when he founded Samson Farm. 37 Canadian Classic wins and 84 Sovereign Awards later, Samson's legacy adds another chapter. Discover an opportunity nearly 50 years in the making to buy into Samson's prized breed-to-race bloodlines. Coming to the Keeneland January sale. Learn more at samson.keeneland.com.
Andrew Filipponi, you are the radio voice there in Pittsburgh. Coming to you first, the Steelers are giving 12.5 points in this matchup. Can they cover that number?
No, I don't think the Steelers could cover 12.5 against Alabama right now. I mean, they're just a team that's in complete shambles. 11-2, don't let the record fool you, Dave Weaver. It's a team that is at a loss. I don't think they know who they are offensively. They're throwing the ball way too much. Ben Roethlisberger's got no zip on the ball. He looked like Peyton Manning in his final year in Denver against Buffalo on Sunday night. He's talking about retirement after the game. Maybe I need to hang it up. The Bengals are a get-right type of team, one of the worst defenses in the entire NFL. But I don't trust the Steelers to run the ball effectively. James Conner now has a quad injury. And I don't know what Ben Roethlisberger has left in the tank. So with this big number, I'm going to take the Bengals.
Yeah, not only did they lose last week, they lost the week before. So 2 losses in a row, yet John Sheeran feels that they're still good enough to be favored by double digits on the road. I don't think a team that loses 2 in a row ever should be favored in the NFL on the road by that much. You go back to 2018, the Steelers had 2 consecutive losses. They went to Oakland as a 10.5-point favorite. Not only did they not cover, they lost the game outright. So I think there's a chance that Cincinnati could pull off a huge upset in this one, but for sure, I'm going to be taking the points.
More ways to win Thursday. Make sure you tune in at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific here on TVG, and then at noon Eastern at 9 a.m. Pacific on the website FanDuel.com/watch. As we're, I don't want to say winding down this week in the NFL because we still have Sunday Night Football to come. Might even still be an afternoon game in the process right now. But then we have Monday Night Football, and then obviously they'll be back at it next week. So looking forward to it. And also, I'm sure focus their attention on NBA as they'll kick off their 2020-2021 season on Tuesday. So getting back after it in the NBA, not in the bubble though this time, Simon. They'll be back traveling to each of their home courts, certainly under some strict protocols. But at Mountaineer, race number 3, no scratches. We've had 2 favorites win so far in the first 2 races. The favorite right now is the 8 Dixieland Traffic for Kevin Fletcher, a filly that's looking for her first win in what will be her 13th start.
Yeah, did I hear that right? Did you say that? So the NBA teams are in full travel mode now, right? This time around? Is that right, what I heard you say?
Yeah, no bubble as they closed out the season.
No bubble.
Which was just a couple of months ago right now at this point. So yeah, they'll be back starting on Tuesday. They're playing preseason games right now at the various, home arenas. They've kept the preseason games relatively regional, so you don't have to travel all that far for these teams. But yeah, they'll be back on a travel schedule. And I want to say off the top of my head, it's a shortened season. It's not the full 82-game slate. I want to say they shaved off roughly 10 games, and they've only scheduled the season for the first half or first 50 games through March, something along those lines. But yeah, they'll be back at it again starting on Tuesday, NBA action, as the Lakers look to defend their title.
Yeah, I think they take on the Clips on Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken. I did see that. I wasn't sure where they were playing it, though. Okay, here we go. Post-parade, race number 3 at the Mountain. Starts with the one Atlanta Bell, 23-1. Did improve a little bit last time out, but that was start number 24, still a maiden at the age of 5 here, the daughter of Data Link. The 2 will be next. That's Queen Knowledge for Wilfred Montano. Hard to endorse off the last couple of starts. Different finishes, a second and a fifth, but the margin of defeat pretty much the same by about 12 lengths. Melodramatics, the 3, another one who's 0 for 20. You get the gist here. A lot of them have had plenty of tries. Melodramatic, 18 of those 20 have been at this track. She's a Mean Broad. There's the 5, Lynn T, 25 to 1, another one who, I mean, it just hasn't even come close. 2 third-place finishes, but they were back into beginning of 2019. City Bird Flying brings in a modicum of form, and that will go a long way in a group like this. Has been consistently 3rd or 2nd in the last 3 starts. Shaken Splash, the 7, 6 to 1 morning line, up to 24 to 1 right now. Dixieland Traffic was your favorite, 3 to 5 on a horse who's 0 for 12. Why? Just by virtue of those last 2 or 3 races. Finishing 2nd, sprinting now, stretching out. Dragon Breath at 40 to 1. Do you like Dragon Breath, Scott?
The horse, no. I don't think she's got much of a look in here at that price. Actual Dragon Breath, no. Yeah, I'm going to say no. Maybe it's a cocktail somewhere. It takes me to great Game of Thrones is what I think of there, Dragon Breath. 1 minute away, race 3 Mountaineer.
Exactly.
We've got Pompano, race number 2. We're going to head out there live for a trot and a nice purse on the line. $51,000 on the line in this conditioned trot. Let's go to Pompano.
Left the gate dead at the inside, seeking Matthew. They're in between trotters. From the outside, Joe Jet. Floating wide in the 3rd spot, the big favorite Shoulda Had a Drink. We move on through that at the inside for Simons, and a rough beginning for Prairie Lazuli, who's far back as they make their way around that opening turn. If not now, when? Maintains the top, Shoulda Had a Drink. To the outside there and pressing on for Simons. The quarter was 29 and 4. Seeking Matthew. Rides just off the 2 favorites at 3rd. A break of 10 to Joe Jet. And far back to Prairie Lazuli. Should have had a drinks off stride. The favorite made a break while trying to make the lead. So should have had a drink. Has been a break in stride. The complexion completely changed now. If not now, when? Will maintain the lead for Hennessy. Seeking Matthew is on his back there, but very anxious for Spotto in that 2nd spot. The half up in 1 minute and 1/5. It's 10 more back to Joe Jet. About 15 further back to Shoulda Had a Drink, who is back trotting, but has a big mountain to climb. Prairie Lazuli far behind the pack here. Strung out group across the backstretch. If not now, when? Needs to go now because Seeking Matthew is up on the outside there to engage, and Seeking Matthew trying to wrestle that lead away from a heavily urged, if not now, when. It's about 12 further back to Joe Jet. 10 more to Shoulda Had a Drink. They trot past 3/4, 1:30 and 2. Seeking Matthew has taken over. If not now, when has made a break in stride. So Seeking Matthew is going to inherit a large advantage now. If not now, when remains on the gallop. It's about 10 more back to Joe Jet. Shoulda Had a Drink. Trying to work back into contention as they trot for home. Seeking Matthew all alone. Shoulda Had a Drink moves in between trotters, far outside. If not now, when? Seeking Matthew scores here in the Florida Breeders' Stake Final. Seeking Matthew and Alessandro Spotto to win it. Shoulda Had a Drink regained his stride to grab 2nd. If not now, when crosses the line 3rd. 2 minutes and 4/5.
Only the 2nd start of this gelding's career. Seeking Matthew with the victory. Sergio Corona, the winning trainer, winning driver. Alessandro Spano. Congratulations out to Amante Standard Breds Incorporated out of Delray Beach, Florida, as they take that Florida Breeders' Stakes final for the 2-year-old colts and geldings. All right, at Mountaineer, loading up. Is it time? Is it the turn of Dixieland Traffic to win this one, Simon?
I think it is. I think that's exactly right. It's just a rotating door, right? It's like one of those rotating doors. And, you know, the horse that beat him last time is out of the way now. It's Dixieland Traffic's turn. At least I think today was odds on last time, but this is such a weak group.
It's like standing at the deli and waiting for your number to be called. It looks like the 8 is going to be called here today. Let's go to Mountaineer, race 3.
Now poking through the front of the gate there is Lynn T. Didn't go anywhere. It will be closed in front of Lynn T. And they're all set. They're off and racing. And Lynn T has gone straight to the lead from Queen Knowledge, and on the inside is Atalanta Bell. Moving up then is She's a Mean Broad. Deeper on the track is Dixieland Traffic, followed in behind them. Over towards the inside by Queen Knowledge, and then comes Shake and Splash, and last is Dragon Breath. So they make their run towards the 6 furlong pole, and it's Lynn T the leader. Lynn T is out by 2 lengths. Second on the inside, Atalanta Bell. Dixieland Traffic moves up third on the outside, now goes to second. So the Greys are racing 1-2. Fourth at the moment comes Queen Knowledge. Another 2.5 lengths over towards the inside is She's a Mean Broad. 3.5 lengths away to Citybird Flying, and then comes Dramatic. Next to last is Shake and Splash, and Dragon Breath is at the tail. Half a mile to go, and Lynn T and Marco Kamaki are the leaders by 1.5 lengths. Dixieland Traffic is moving in quickly in second, though, and they've opened up about 15 lengths over Citybird Flying, who's getting into third. Around on the inside is She's a Mean Broad. Queen Knowledge has put the cue in the rack as they run to the 5/16 pole, and Lynn T is the leader now by 1.5 lengths. Dixieland Traffic is second as they go by the quarter pole. They're out by 2.5 to She's a Mean Broad. Citybird Flying on the outside is making ground, and then comes Melodramatic. Well, they're packing up now as Dixieland Traffic has gone to the lead. Lynn T on the inside puts the cue in the rack. Down the outside, Citybird Flying. Here comes Citybird Flying with a run, and Citybird Flying has now taken the lead from Dixieland Traffic, and then Melodramatic followed by She's a Mean Broad, but Citybird Flying is getting away from them, and Citybird Flying and Guillermo Rodriguez by 2.5. Melodramatic second. Third in was Dixieland Traffic, and fourth She's a Mean Broad.
Not today for the favorite Dixieland Traffic, who was bet down to 1-9. She packs it in late. Part of the pace. She turns for home with the pace setter Lynn T. They both start to tire, Simon. And then here comes a rally from Citybird Flying down the center of the course, the number 6-1.
Yeah, first start at Mountaineer. Relished the wet surface here today and just jumped the line at the deli. I mean, took their number right to the counter, picked up the club sandwich, and away they went. Citybird Flying getting the win here in career start number 9. What price we getting there? 6-1 on number 23 at the deli.
Be careful with that. Watch TVG app. We're promoting this because we've got some affiliates that are going to be leaving us at the top of the hour. If you're one of those joining us via that affiliate and you want to continue to watch TVG, we urge you to download the Watch TVG app on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Apple TV. And once you download it, all you have to do is sign in with your TVG account. If you don't have a TVG account, there are great sign-up bonuses right now. Head to the website, tvg.com. But once you have that account, you'll be able to log in to watch TVG, catch both networks, TVG, TVG2, and the TVG Racebook. And there's still a lot of racing coming up tonight. We've got Remington out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, more harness racing from Florida at Pompano Park, and the quarters card at Los Alamitos, that day-night doubleheader, is in 31 minutes, Simon. So I would imagine that you have the week off. I love my job so much, I'm actually working on Christmas Eve, so I'll be getting down for you. I'm sure you'll be tuned in. So happy holidays to you and the family, Simon.
Thanks very much, Scott. Yep, I'm going to take a week off, and I'll see you opening day at Santa Anita.
Live racing continues on TVG on this Sunday evening. Hello, everybody. I'm Rich Perloff with you now from Los Angeles, California. Our thanks to Scott Hazelton and Simon Bray, who have wrapped up their business for the day. But we're about to kick off the card at Remington Park. State bred, $7,500 non-winners of 3. Going to go 3/4 of a mile on the fast main track at Remington. Scratch the 1, Diamonds and Spurs. Scratch the 2, Kisses for April, leaving us with a field of 8. Your 8-5 favorite is the 4, Just About Right. Just About Right, a clear cut. Second best on the drop to this level of competition last time out. Benny Landeros rides back for trainer Alan Williams. 3-2 now. Just About Right. We go upstairs to Dale Day to kick off the program at Remington. Good luck if you're playing the early pick 5.
Flashy Bisonette up outside. Last in, Shanghai Sally all in. They're off in the Sunday opener at Remington Park. Slow beginning for Flashy Bisonette. Quick beginning for the gray outside. That's Fanny B, but DeCinema Girl rushes up and takes the lead. It's DeCinema Girl on top now by 3/4 of length. Fanny B to the outside, second. Between them, Just About Right, a tight third. Gap of a length then, back to Kiss My Grits. Outside to Shanghai Sally, and between those two, sixth, Mazzoni. Gap of 2 more to Snow Trick and Flashy Bisonette at the back with a half mile to go. Opening quarter mile, 23.18 seconds. Up front, Just About Right takes control now by a half length over to Cinema Girl. Fanny B's third and wide. Looking for room inside fourth, Kiss My Grits. To the turn, Mazzoni is now fifth, a half length better than Shanghai Sally. Snow Trick on the move, looking for room. The back belongs to Flashy Bisonette, 9 from the front. Approaching the quarter pole, it's still Just About Right. Up front, half mile goes in 46.52 seconds. To the stretch they roll. To Cinema Girl, noses up front now. Here's Just About Right, battling back. Outside Fanny B and Snow Trick's on the run down the middle, looking for room. Kiss My Grits with a furlong to go. Race on in the Sunday opener. It's Just About Right on top. Kiss My Grits begging to get through. Snow Trick third and charging. Just About Right trying to hold on. Here comes Snow Trick. Here comes Kiss My Grits. Here's the line. Tight. I think Kiss My Grits just got through. To get there, it will go to a photo. Kiss My Grits and Just About Right. Snow Trick third.
Yeah, that's a photo in the opener at Remington Park, but I agree with Dale Day. I think the 3 horse is going to get up for the win. Take a look here. That's David Cabrera down along the rail, and he is begging for a little daylight right about here. See him? You see him shake the reins at Kiss My Grits right there. Now he thinks he's got enough room to get on through there. Just About Right, your favorite, with Benny Landeros, has opened up just a little sliver of daylight there, and I believe Kiss My Grits going to get up for the score here at 3-1. Wire approaching. We need one more jump right there. Boy, that's pretty tight, but I think it's 3, 4, 7, 8. That is strictly unofficial in the opener at Remington Park. Here's another look. This more like real time. There's the bob right there. Boy, that's tight. Hold all tickets. All right, that bodes well for the action at Remington Park. Now, I mentioned that the early pick 5 began with the opener. I'm going to jump in and play a ticket on the early pick 4 beginning in race number 2. But we'll have the official order and these prices to show you shortly. Action ongoing from Mountaineer. Next up for them is race number 4. That track is sloppy out there in West Virginia. Well, camera operator putting the focus there on the 3, Kiss My Grits, and I understand that those numbers are now in the tote. 3, 4, results still unofficial in the opener at Remington Park. We should have those prices to show you when Trackside Lot continues after this quick break.
Hey, neighbor, we got to talk.
Well, Jay? No, he only comes to Bugle on race days.
Race days?
With the TVG app, every day is race day. You can place bets right in your phone, even stream live races.
Top-notch runners facing off.
I can have a day at the track whenever I want, right at home.
Coming through, guys.
Go get him, Mike.
Mike Smith?
Yeah, Mike Smith.
There's a new home of horse racing, yours. Get a 50% bonus on your first deposit up to $250.
And now another pretty good tweet presented by Same Game Parlay only on FanDuel Sportsbook. At the Captain 33 writes, "Don't take my betting advice, but FanDuel Same Game Parlay is where it's at. Want our betting advice? The Captain's betting advice is very much where it's at. Only FanDuel Sportsbook lets you parlay multiple wagers on the same game to turn a small bet into a big payday. All customers get same-game parlay insurance worth up to $25 every day.
When success occurs again and again, it's more than good fortune. It's building a legacy of leadership. It's standing sires of nearly 1,000 graded stakes winners, over 250 Grade 1 winners, 22 champions, and 17 classic winners. For 5 decades, Lane's End is one proven formula for success. Win. This is what we stand for.
The Equine Line Mare Produce Records online service and apps with every mare, every foal, everywhere. EquineLine.com.
Andrew Filipponi, you are the radio voice there in Pittsburgh. Coming to you first, the Steelers are giving 12.5 points in this matchup. Can they cover that number?
No, I don't think the Steelers could cover 12.5 against Alabama right now. I mean, they're just a team that's in complete shambles. 11-2, don't let the record fool you, Dave Weaver. It's a team that is at a loss. I don't think they know who they are offensively. They're throwing the ball way too much. Ben Roethlisberger's got no zip on the ball. He looked like Peyton Manning in his final year in Denver against Buffalo on Sunday night. He's talking about retirement after the game. Maybe I need to hang it up. The Bengals are a get-right type of team, one of the worst defenses in the entire NFL. But I don't trust the Steelers to run the ball effectively. James Conner now has a quad injury. And I don't know what Ben Roethlisberger has left in the tank. So with this big number, I'm going to take the Bengals.
Yeah, not only did they lose last week, they lost the week before. So 2 losses in a row, yet John Sheeran feels that they're still good enough to be favored by double digits on the road. I don't think a team that loses 2 in a row ever should be favored in the NFL on the road by that much. You go back to 2018, the Steelers had 2 consecutive losses. They went to Oakland as a 10.5-point favorite. Not only did they not cover, they lost the game outright. So I think there's a chance that Cincinnati could pull off a huge upset in this one, but for sure, I'm going to be taking the points.
Here's a look at your Monday night matchup. More ways to win available for you on TVG every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, we have some prices to show you. First up, Mountaineer. Yeah, Dixieland Traffic. In his first start, her first start at Mountaineer, she was 1-9 and finished second. 1-9 again tonight. Bails out the bridge jumpers. That's about it. Citybird Flying gets the win at 6-1, 6-3, 8-4. 20-cent super comes back about $191. Let's turn the page, go on to race number 4. $4,000 non-winners of 2 time-restricted claimers. These are 3-year-olds and up that have not won twice since this date in 2019. They're going to go a flat mile in the slot. Nobody scratched. Got a field of 7 with 9 minutes to post. The 3-horse Tough Intensity is your 5-2 favorite. Has been in tough against Starter Allowance Company in his last 3. There are the prizes from race number 2 at Pompano. That was an upset. Seeking Matthew got the money there. Over. Should have had a drink. Quick look at the field for race number 3 at Pompano Park, which is coming up shortly. Back at Remington, very close photo did go to Kiss My Grits under David Cabrera, who came through a narrow opening along the rail in the stretch for the score. 3-4-7-8 that time super. $16.70. Kiss My Grits now 3-4-11 in her racing career. Race number 2 at Remington kicks off the early 50-cent pick 4. These are Oklahoma-bred $15,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 lifetime. They're going to go 5.5 furlongs. 2 scratches here. The 7 Final Burbank and the 9 Ronald Dale come out, leaving us with a field of 8. You can see Kelly's check mark next to the 10, Dacamo Rose, And as long as a horse with an even number saddle towel wins this race, I will advance in the pick 4. I got all the even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I could use that much coverage in race number 2 because I am tapering to a single in race number 5. And my single in that 5th race, the horse that I'm spending some money to try to get alive to, is 10-1 on the morning line. I'm not counting on 10-1, but I don't need it. I just need to have the right horse if I get through to that 5th race. Meanwhile, at Los Alamitos, we're 20 minutes away from the best bet in racing, early pick 4 at Los Al. Thoroughbreds will kick off the program, $3,200 restricted claimers going 4.5 furlongs. Got a field of 7 in there, and the 6-horse Hill Croom, 6-5, was second at this level last time out. I wonder whether any of our players are using that 3-horse, Rosette. That's the horse that kind of stuck out to me. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay, so Jose's got that one on the ticket. That's $12 play. Very economical. Early pick 4 there. The single for Jose comes up in race number 3, where he's going to shove all in with Acting Cat. Acting Cat only beaten 3/4 of a length in a 1,000-yard race when last seen. Sarge is going to be out there under the lights, and he did not find a single. $32 play. Now, he's also got that 5-horse Acting Cat on his ticket in race number 3, but he's using the first-time starter. Perfect Reflection. That's a 4-year-old filly by a very good sprinter in Majestic Perfection. She's obviously getting a belated start to her racing career, but Sarge, I think he likes a couple of those works. I see a couple of bullet 4-furlong works on the tab for Perfect Reflection. So that's the way that our handicappers out there at Los Al see the early pick 4, and you can find those tickets on the website at tvg.com or on your TVG app. Well, we showed you the field for race number 3 at Pompano Park. Let's get you some bonus coverage and show you that race with Gabe Pruitt on the call.
And they are off and trotting. Ciambella left the gate alertly, and she'll press the issue with the 2 favorites in that opening turn. Prairie Virtue, who's around there for Sabins, If Not Me, Who. Continues carried wide there for Hennessy. West Haven out 4th. Bob's Legacy is in the 5th spot. Prairie Trinket came out last. The favorites do battle early. That is Prairie Virtue down at the inside, and she continues to leave If Not Me, Who wide there as they battle past the opening quarter in 28-2. Ciambella was trying to tighten down the hatches, but she has jumped it off. So Ciambella off stride there. West Haven going to inherit the 3rd spot. She's 4 clear of Bob's Legacy. Prairie Trinket is next as they trot past the 3/8 smart. Prairie Virtue going to cut it out once more. If Not Me, Who. Remains on her back there, a tight second. 2.5 more to West Haven. Bob's Legacy still 4th, and for the Prairie Trinket, far back after the miscue to Ciambella. They trot past the half in 58-4. 30-2 in that 2nd quarter as Prairie Virtue continues to call the shots out of the backstretch. If Not Me, Who. Perfect trip there, 2nd for Hennessy. The 2 favorites have now put 8 lengths on West Haven, who holds down the 3rd spot. 3 more to Bob's Legacy. Prairie Trinket is a 5th. She's got 12 lengths to make up, and far back to Ciambella after the miscue. Florida Breeders' Stake Final. They trot onto the far turn. Prairie Virtue still to target past 3/4 and 128-1. If Not Me, Who starts to gear up now from a 2nd. The top pair have drawn well clear. It's about 15 more to Prairie Trinket, who moves into a 3rd. Bob's Legacy into 4th. Top of the stretch, the favorite's going to drop the gloves now. Prairie Virtue trying to buckle down and fend off If Not Me, Who. But it's If Not Me, Who looking to slingshot pass off the perfect trip. Prairie Virtue battles on down at the inside. If Not Me, Who or Prairie Virtue, they will battle down to the finish. If Not Me, Who driven out. If Not Me, Who in the Florida Breeders' Stake Final. She took it narrowly from Prairie Virtue, far back to Prairie Trinket 3rd, Bob's Legacy 4th, 158-4.
That was a match race, and it did go to your 1 to 5 favorite, If Not Me Who, in race number 3 at Pompano Park. Back at Mountaineer, horses on the track for race number 4, the $4,000 non-winners of 2 time restricted claimers. Warbathor is on the rail. Wandering Kitten, Jose Davila at 19 to 1. Here's Tough Intensity. Early middle move carried him to the lead briefly, and he held for third in the 7-horse field last time out. That was a 2-mile race. Oh, okay. This is a mile tonight. There's the 5, Big Exchange, coming onto that sloppy racetrack. Veteran Yuri Urenga rides back for David Asbury. Pendrell Moon and Ricardo Barrios bet down from 8 to 1, coming off an easy win on a muddy racetrack at Mountaineer against $4,000 non-winners of 1. So takes the necessary step up the class ladder. On the outside, Prado Perk and jockey Charlie Oliveros. This one's first off the claim for trainer and owner Dennis Van Meter. That is your field of 7. Your 2 to 1 favorite is the 3, Tough Intensity. Well, Tough Intensity, I wonder whether that's a starter allowance distance series that they run at Mountaineer, because Tough Intensity has been in 3 consecutive starter allowance races at the Mountain, 1 mile and 5/8, 1 mile and 3/4, and then the 2-mile race last time out. Now, the good news is that he hit the board in all 3 of those races. Bad news is that when he finished second, he was beaten nearly 24 lengths, and when he finished third, he was beaten 20.5. Last time out, in the 2-mile race, he middle moved, got to the front, and then fended off most challengers. 2 horses got by him, checked in third in a field of 7. You know, I'll say one thing about his race going 1 mile and 3/4 in the mud. Even finishing third and beaten 20.5 lengths, he put up a Beyer figure of 68. Kind of makes you wonder what the winner got, right? Horse that won that race, Darren's Fortune. Darren's Fortune, who was 15 lengths to the good at the wire. I'm gonna take a wild stab. I think that if you're 15 lengths, if you beat a horse by 20.5 lengths and that horse earns a 68 Beyer, you must have been in the 90s. Bombs away, Bob. I know you're out there. What was the Beyer figure for Darren's Fortune in that race on November 23rd? See, Bob thinks he's off the hook on a Sunday night, but I can still get him to do some research for me. He's usually hanging around on Mondays and Tuesdays. That's when I know I can call on him. Post time, race number 4 at Mountaineer. Let's go to Peter Berry for the live call.
They're off and racing. And in the centre, beginning very quickly, was Prince of Windsor up in search of the lead and is trying to cross over Warbathor. Warbathor, though, punches through, and Prince of Windsor, Guillermo Rodriguez, just had to steady a little bit there and let Warbathor go through. So now Prince of Windsor will take the trail in second. They're 4 lengths in front of Big Exchange. Pendrell Moon is racing in 4th. A couple of lengths farther back is Prado Perk. 8 away next to last is Tough Intensity, and another 10 off at the tail is Wandering Kitten. Strung out like Brown's cows with 5/8 to go, and the leader is Warbathor. Now here comes Big Exchange with an early mid-race move to go into second, followed by Prince of Windsor. They're 2.5 lengths in front of Prado Perk, saving ground along the back stretch. To the outside next is Pendrell Moon. About 15 lengths off next to last is Tough Intensity, and about a similar margin to Wandering Kitten. The leader is Warbathor, setting a pretty good pace here, leads by 1.5 lengths. Big Exchange is holding second, and they're about 5 or 6 lengths in front of Prado Perk on the inside of Pendrell Moon. Prince of Windsor has dropped well out of it, and then comes Tough Intensity, and well back last is Wandering Kitten as they come for home, where it's Warbathor the leader. Big Exchange is on the outside, followed by Prado Perk and Pendrell Moon. They come down to the the furlong pole. And now coming through is Pendrell Moon towards the inside. Big Exchange on the outer. And then comes Warburther. O'Prado Perk has stopped. And Tough Intensity's made up a lot of ground. But Big Exchange is in front close to home. And Big Exchange wins by a length and a quarter. Pendrell Moon second. Third was Warburther and fourth Tough Intensity.
5-6-1-3 is unofficial. That was Big Exchange. Big Exchange and Pendrell Moon, kind of a swamped. Pace-setting Warburther, one inside, one outside, and they will dispute it. Big Exchange gets the money at 5-2. Pendrell Moon completes the exact at 5-1. As for your 2-1 favorite, Tough Intensity, turning back from 2 miles to a mile, just too far off the pace to make a real impact here. Had to settle for fourth. 5-6-1-3 is unofficial in race number 4 at Mountaineer. Back at Remington Park, here's your post-parade for race number 2. Classy Hayes went through. Here's On the Man Now. Walter de la Cruz takes the call here for trainer Marty Rodriguez. Hunter Quick at 25-1. Jose Alvarez riding for Randy Oberlander. Here's Beggar. Good race last time out at this same level of competition on a sloppy racetrack. Only beaten a neck for all the money. Currently 7-1. Alfredo Triana Jr. in the irons. Baxter Ball is at 4-1. Garrett Steinberg was aboard for a good third place run last time out. He climbs the class ladder here. Deja Cruz, one of 2 in here for trainer Kenny Nolan. Richard Aramia rides. Scratch the 7 final Burbank. The 8 Okie Native was the 5-2 morning line favorite. There we go. 7-2. Ramon Vasquez in the irons. Scratch the 9 Ronald Dale. Dacamo Rose 5-2. David Cabrera. That's the other Kenneth Nolan horse in there, and she drops in for a tag for the first time. We are joined now from Remington Park by Kelly O'Hara. Kelly, we're enjoying the action at Remington Park on a Sunday, but last night we had a welder sighting, and he did something noteworthy. He usually does, but he goes into the record books now.
He does go in the record books. He ties Highland Ice with the most wins here at Remington Park. So it was his 15th win at this racetrack. And boy, he just always never seems to. It surprised me. He got battled the whole way. It was just a great performance. I mean, he's won on the turf here. He's won against Oklahoma bred. This was an allowance race, but let me tell you something. It was open company, and there were some very tough horses in there.
Well, including a horse by the name of DeRapper, who's one of the few horses that can say that he's beaten Welder on more than one occasion. But Welder, that very recognizable 7-year-old gray gelding, make that 4 in a row, but win streaks are no stranger to Welder. He's now 26 for 38. What a remarkable career.
Yes, DeRapper, and then the other horse that ran second was the horse that won the King Cotton of Steve Asmussen's. His name is escaping me at the moment. I'm in Sunday mode, but anyway, it was a very contentious race, but Welder did it. I swear it was all hard. I mean, he got headed almost the whole way. Anyway, Welder's a superstar and has won 15 races.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty more of him. You know, he obviously still enjoys his work. He's the man out there. He's the man amongst the Oklahoma breds for sure. But last night, that was an open allowance event, and he's perfectly capable in open company as well.
Yes, and trainer Terry Luniak said we will see him next year, God willing, he stays down. But she said all plans because he does enjoy his job.
Oh, we're looking at your early pick 4 right now, and I know that your top pick was the horse on the outside here, Dacamo Rose, one of 2 in here for trainer Kenneth Nolan, and they're both in for a tag for the first time.
They are, and I want to mention the 10 horse, and I'll also mention in the last leg the 8 horse in race 5. They're both coming out of a race that was a state bred allowance race. And the winner, Dipping In, came back to win the You See It Stakes on Friday night. So I think that's going to end up being key. The horse in the fifth race, the 8 horse, between the Archers, he was second. Now, Kenny Nolan's was 7th, but it was his first time facing winners. And guess what? He gets the drop today, and now he's just gone to the on-the-board favorite at 10-1. 2-1.
Kelly, I'm singling that same horse at the. I'm singling that same horse in race number 5 at the tail end of my pick 4. I'm spending a little bit more money to try to get alive there. So that makes me think that 10-1 morning line probably not going to hold.
I don't think so. And there are enough people will realize that Dipping In, because he was impressive when he won the You See It Stakes, that is going to end up being probably a key race.
Kelly O'Hara joining us from Remington Park. Kelly, good luck with that early pick 4, and we will speak to you shortly.
Thank you. You too.
All right, we're coming up on post time for race number 2 at Remington, but the crew is getting set up down there at Los Al for the action under the lights, and the Sarge, Nick Hines, our man on the scene.
All right, thank you, Rich Perloff, and you are relieved of your duties this evening. I am Nick Hines, the Sarge, reporting for duty, and of course, mi compadre, Los Ponies, also. Big night tonight, not only based on the fact that it's a closing night here at Los Alamitos for the nighttime action for the season, but we also have a pick 6 carryover. That's right. There was I guess a technical issue with the construction of the configuration, if you will, of the ticket structure within the infrastructure, which essentially put us into this situation tonight. So, Jose Contreras, I know you're there and listening. It's a big night, the SoCal Derby, and of course we got the opener just 3 minutes away.
Buenas noches, compadre. That is correct. The pick 6, unfortunately, was not. There was an error with the wagering format of the race card last night, so management decided to cancel that wager, hold to that pick 6 carryover for tonight's program. So today was the daytime closing of the daytime meet. Tonight is the nighttime closing of the nighttime meet. So mandatory payout and all the horizontals in that pick 6 in excess of $40,000. Nick, looking forward to it. And to conclude the night, we'll have the Grade 2 Southern California Derby.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to it. And key scratch tonight in that SoCal Derby, Jose. And we're going to flash your ticket up on the screen here momentarily for that pick 4, the best bet in racing. You know it starts right here with that $1 minimum. But with the scratch of Mental Error, who was 5-1 in the morning line, a horse that I'm sure would have been on many a ticket in that pick 6, kind of opening the game up a little bit in tonight's feature. All right, to race number 1, this post parade is on a tape delay. We're 2 minutes away, and I can just about assure you that we're going to get to that $100,000 mark. I promise you we will. And a 4.5 furlong event, time restricted, non-winner 2. We've got an amplitude of hook races tonight, Jose. But this opener was an interesting one because I felt that the 6 Hill Croom, a horse that can be beat. It's been a while between drinks since January 11th of this year. Where did you go in your pick 4 to begin?
I went 3 deep here, Nick, as we take a look at the 5 there, Nutty Sierra, first time off the claim. There's a 6 Hill Croom, Juan Sanchez, Victor Trujillo, and the 7 Hydrostatic for the hot barn of Brian Cunningham. Brian Cunningham had a nice winner last night, I believe, to 11-1. That was a horse that really spiced up that early pick 4. Hydrostatic sitting on the board right now at 9-2. But I went 2, 3, and 6. Yoler's Way to me was an interesting price here in this leg. A horse that finished third in that sharp allowance won by Just a Mitch, that classy horse. So I went 2, 3, 6, Nick, and then I'm gonna double up in that second leg with the 1 and the 6. Originally the 5 was gonna be in my ticket August Indy, but that one is scratched. So I think now the speed is gonna dominate there. Class drop of the 1, and it better be gold. Comes out of that 3rd place finish last time out. The single is gonna be Acting Cat. Remember, Acting Cat was the one that made a right-hand turn out of the gate there, rushed up, dueled with the Felix Gonzalez trainee that was coming off a layoff but was not able to go by. I think Acting Cat, if he breaks well, he's the horse to beat. And then race 4, that second leg of the pick 6 carryover and the payoff leg of the early pick 4, Low Grazing and Ixtapas Finest. Low Grazing pressed Meredith, who was a stakes winner for the Bob Baffert barn, and then Ixtapas Finest comes out of a sharp 2nd place finish behind Annalisa, who's turned into a nice turf sprinter.
Yeah, I would have to say that, again, Little Grazing, who was entered last week or earlier in the week, or was it last week, into I believe it was a Calbred allowance type race. So they opted to go here. I'm like you. I feel like that particular leg is one where you could certainly key and single Little Grayson, but I actually went another direction with Tip Top Gal. Why? Because you look at some of the horses that she faced up in Northern California. I like the fact she's also won on dirt, but some of the names, Magic at Midnight for Moran and Moran Company, for trainer Mark Glatt, Monsieur Lou. You look at the efforts 2 and 3 back. Quentin Miller, he hasn't raced that many down here, but he gets Juan Sanchez. And Tip Top Gal, I think, could be the horse that could set that thing up if indeed there is an upset of Little Grayson. But I ended up using a first-timer for Jimmy Glenn in that third leg, along with Acting Cat. I'm with you. Acting Cat, probably 80% of the time, would be a horse that I would single. I like the move to Francisco Orduña Rojas. I don't like the fact that this horse, lost the opportunity to win that night. I know of essentially his own doing, but the fact that he got beat. And I think Perfect Reflection, who was a $60,000 Keeneland September yearling, that 47-3 bullet best of 29 back on December 5th, that was serious. And Jimmy Glenn, he's a caging conditioner. He knows how to spot his horses, and I think that's another spot for a potential upset. But I'll tell you what, Jose, for this early pick 4, this is the leg that I'm most fearful of, considering the fact that I've got coverage, but I didn't use the 6 Hill Kroom. I want you to sell me on why I should have used Hill Kroom, who's currently your 3-2 favorite.
Well, she got out to a clean start there from the inside post, Hill Kroom did. And once she moved up there to chase the pace behind horses there, he had to wait for room. Excuse me, he's a gelding. He had to wait for room. He was waiting, and then there was a little bit of a hole opening, but it was still intimidating. And once he actually got through that inside opening, it was too late. The winner was too far in front. But he was able to show a little bit of run and finish second best. But if he had a clean path in that race and didn't have to wait for room and losing all momentum, I think he could have been right there for the win.
All right. Again, this horse is certainly going to have to engage early. We often talk about this, Jose. Once again, I want to clarify that I didn't use Hill Kroom, who's your 7-5 favorite. This horse is 2 for his last 24 on record, and has never seen the lights here at Los Alamitos. So, that's generally where we try and maybe take an edge and take a stance against a horse that's favored. I tell you what, the 5 is the horse that interests me a lot, and I included this horse in Nutty Sierra. You get Roberto Dominguez. It's a trainer who's done well with limited opportunities. You get the 10-pound or now 7-pound riding apprentice in Cesar Ortega. You look at the effort 2 back. It was a non-winner of 2 at the $2,500 level. That final time, that night, Jose, 51-4, going to 4.5 furlongs, I think puts this horse right on the button. 11-1 seems generous. This is a horse that, again, is going to have to come back to the effort 2 back, but in the last 2 starts, this horse is an even money beaten favorite. And at 2-1, 2 starts back. So, can you make a case for Nutty Sierra, or am I being nutty?
I would counter that case with the case of the 7, who I didn't use, but they both. It was that same October 10th effort, Nick, where Nutty Sierra won. Hydrostatic, the 7 was a favorite, and what happened to Hydrostatic? He took the blinkers off for the first time that night, and he got into some trouble. Had to steady as the betting favorite. Came back with the blinkers off on November 7th. Hydrostatic did, again, steadied, troubled. They added the blinkers back on last time out and got the win in 51-3. So, and the barn is hot. That was probably the only horse outside of the ones I used that maybe I could have stretched it out, but I'm okay with just 2, 3, and 6. But both the 5 and the 7 are kind of duking it out because they already faced each other before.
All right, I'd like to give you an opportunity to talk about tonight's featured event, the SoCal Derby, on this closing night. Again, talented is the word, and of course, an evenly matched field of 9 sophomores for a Grade 2 event. Is there one particular horse that stands out in your mind?
No, I think it's a very competitive group. I think the morning line reflects that. A slight lean towards Cattail Cove's 92. That's going to be my official top selection. We'll see what the price is at post time. But I think it's a very competitive group, talented group lined up in tonight's Grade 2 Southern California Derby.
All right, we look forward to that. Gary Brinson, he's been playing double duty, as has our friend upstairs, Michael Rohn, who's done an exceptional job handling both the daytime and nighttime activity. And he certainly hasn't missed a beat. I'd also like to remind you that the second from Remington Park, that's right, it's a Sunday night. We've got Remington Park action, including Mountaineer and the Pomp. Let's give it up to Michael Rona for the lid lifter on a Sunday evening closing night at Los Alamitos live at TVG. Good luck.
All set. Racing. Rosart quickly away. Yodeler's Way going very fast. Nutty Sierra in the yellow colours close up to the speed. Seattle Encounter is fourth, followed by Hydrostatic Hill Croom and Red Clem is 4 lengths last. Rosart burns away, leads by 3. Yodeler's Way second in front of Nutty Sierra, followed by Hydrostatic, and then Seattle Encounter, Hill Croom, and the trailer is Red Clem with a quarter mile to go. Rosart tearing along by 3.5 lengths around the turn. Yodeler's Way is second. Rosart's gone 5 in front. Nutty Sierra third inside the grey Hydrostatic, then Hill Croom into the stretch, and Rosart with 1/8 of a mile to go by 3.5 lengths. Yodeler's Way gaining on the inside. Rosart needs the wire. Yodeler's Way closing. Rosart still in front. Rosart has led all the way to beat Yodeler's Way, Hill Croom, and fourth was Hydrostatic.
And it would be Rosat going gate to wire here. And Jose, as I look up at the times, 21-1 for the opening quarter, 44-3. Jesus Uranga on the drop, scoring. Edgar Payeras in the irons.
Yeah, and if you went back to previous efforts from this 5-year-old gelding, he had shown this speed before. Last time out, he got into trouble at the start tonight. Clean start and takes him all the way.
Yeah, selfishly, it would have been nice to get the 2 there at 8-1. And in fact, Rosat ended up as your 8-5 favorite. You remember all that money that was on the 6 Hill Croom? It disappeared as that horse did in the backfield. We will take a short break. We'll come back. We owe you that second from Remington Park. Live racing from Mountaineer and the Pomp. Don't touch that dial.
I'm different than many of my TVG colleagues with the way that I got into racing because nobody in my family was affiliated with the sport. I was taken to the Big Fresno Fair at the age of 3 and just followed racing from a very young age, and it was just one of those things that stuck. All-time favorite racehorse, hands down, Ali Sheba. I think normal kids probably had a poster hanging up in their room with their favorite baseball player, their favorite basketball player, their favorite football player. For me, I had a poster of Ali Sheba. My favorite bets tend to be the multi-race wagers, the pick 3s, the pick 4s, and the pick 5s. But I've always liked the rolling pick 3s, especially if I can find a favorite in a particular race that I really don't like and I can play against. For example, if I don't like the favorite in race number 4, maybe I'll play the sequence of races 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6, and play against the favorite in all 3 of those pick 3s. If I'm right, hopefully I'm cashing in 3 different pick 3s, but for me, my favorite wagers has always been the pick 3s, the pick 4s, and the pick 5s.
Diamond Creek Farm presents Sweet Lou, the Great White Blaze. With star power and charisma to spare, fans far and wide. Success at the highest levels, and that unique look that just says greatness.
Sweet Lou, how sweet it is! Sweet Lou rocks! And Sweet Lou wins the TVG free-for-all final.
Sweet Lou, the Great White Blaze, now standing at Diamond Creek Farm.
Hey guys, Scott Hazelton here with the Lanes End Farm Weekly Preview on Saturday. Join TVG on track live for Santa Anita's opening day. 3 Grade 1s on the card, including the Run Happy Malibu Stakes, sophomore fillies in the La Brea Stakes, and 3-year-old fillies duel on the grass in the American Oaks. Don't forget you can catch all the great racing action and wager with TVG.
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the quarters on TVG on a Sunday evening. I'm Rich Perloff, and we are coming up on race number 5 at Mountaineer. That racetrack is sloppy. 9-race program, so here begins the pick 5. Scratch the 2 Kim Man and the 8 Mavericks Ace. These are $4,000 non-winners of one time restricted. So non-winners of a race since this date last year. Horse on the rail, Big Saver, currently a 5-2 co-favorite. He's 4 for 41 in the win column. He's been a good underneath horse throughout his racing career, 12 times a runner-up. But This race is for horses that have not won in the last calendar year. Well, Big Saver is 0 for at least his last 20. You'd have to go back to sometime in 2018 to find his last victory. Does have one win on a wet racetrack, 1 for 13 in that environment. Also at 5-2 is the 7-horse Delayed Engagement, who has not raced in, what is that, about 15 and a half months now. Returns to the races coming out of the barn of trainer Sherry Kirk, and Yuri Uranga rides. Now, Delayed Engagement, a 15-time winner in his racing career. He's now a 9-year-old gelding, 4 for 8 at Mountaineer, 3 wins in the off-going. The other horse in the pari-mutuel conversation, now we've got 3 horses at 3-1, is the 9, Diamond Mint. Diamond Mint, the class dropper in this spot. First time at Mountaineer for a horse that's been racing in Florida. He comes in 4 for 48. Tricky event to begin the pick 5 at Mountaineer. Here's Peter Barry with the load and call of race 5.
Alexander Bendasou coming along, and Gemologista with Jorge Maserati Jr. will be the last to load. $4,000 claimers, 5.5 furlongs. They're all set. And they're off and racing, and Big Saver missed it hopelessly along the inside. First 2 out were Delayed Engagement and Gemologista, followed by Bellatelli, who's going to improve now to be a joint second along the inside as they settle. 2.5 lengths away to the Grey Diamond Mint. In 5th early comes He Special, followed by Steel and Summer, who's gaining along the inside, about 6 off the lead. Another length or so to Old Mountain Lane. 2.5 lengths away to Big Saver, who blew the start terribly as they run to the 5/16 pole. Delayed Engagement the leader, with Diamond Mint going to second. Bellatelli the inside. Gemologist are now being scrubbed along, making runs together. Big Saver out very wide along with Old Mountain Lane. In behind them comes Steel and Summer on the inside. He Special last into the stretch. So the leader now is Delayed Engagement. Down the outside is Big Saver starting to wind up along with Old Mountain Lane. Old Mountain Lane is finding some form of old, and Old Mountain Lane, if you don't mind umpire, wins by 2 1/4 to Big Saver. Third home Diamond Mint, and 4th Delayed Engagement.
619 is unofficial. That was jockey Logan Holbrook, booting home Old Mountain Lane. Here's another old-timer. He's an 8-year-old gelding, and with this victory, he is now 17 for 79 in his racing career. This will push his career earnings over the $200,000 mark. As for your 2-1 co-favorite Big Saver, bad start, had that one with just too much to do. He did well to rally into the exacta. 619. We owe you this second race from Remington Park. This one kicked off the early pick 4, state bred $15,000. Non-winners of 2, the 6-horse Deja Crew was your 5-2 favorite. Here's Dale Day with the call.
Restlessness in the gate, getting set. They're off. Shuffled a bit, Baxter Ball out quickly. There goes I'm the Man Now on the lead, almost by a full length. Deja Crew chases outside second. Dakimo Rose is third in the early going. Classy Hazenhunter quick on even terms now. And now coming on Beggar and Okie Native wide. Gap of 5 to the trailer. Baxter Ball after the rough beginning, 11 from the front. Gunning for the turn up front. I'm the Man Now is there by a long neck. Deja Crew pressures 3 wide, but coming on Dakimo Rose within a half length, 3 furlongs to go. Opening quarter mile in 22.18 seconds. Rolling along up front. Gap of 5 back to Hunter Quick, all alone 4th. Ahead better than Beggar. Wide is Okie Native 6th. Baxter Ball has left the back and is coming on strongly, about 9 from the front as they pass the quarter pole. Classy Hayes trails. Top of the stretch. I'm the Man Now fighting hard to the inside. Floating out. Here's Dakimo Rose full of run, and Dakimo Rose grabs the lead. Furlong to go. It's Dakimo Rose on top. I'm the Man Now trying to battle back between them. Deja Crew, Hunter Quick coming on 4th. And Baxter Ball is flying from the back but has a ton of work to do. 5th with yards left. Dakimo Rose pouring it on late. Dakimo Rose to win it by 2 and change. I'm the Man Now second. Up for third, Baxter Ball.
$10-2-5-3 is how they went. Dacamo Rose floated up a bit, was 7-2. Paid $9.40. David Cabrera rode that class dropper for trainer Kenneth Nolan. 10-2-5-3. The Dime Super came back over $74. Coming up on the third at Remington Park, these are Oklahoma-bred maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies. They're going to go 5.5 furlongs. Got a field of 11 here, no scratches, and a very heavy favorite in Dixified, who came away from the gate last in a field of 9 and then rolled home to complete the exacta, only beaten the length in a very good debut. Comes out of the Francisco Bravo barn, and Sophie Doyle will be in the irons. 2-5 on Dixified. We're 13 minutes away from the third at Remington Park. Time enough for us to pay some bills. Quick break here on the Quarters.
Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, don't sleep on our popular $2 Pick 6 at Los Alamitos Racecourse. The Los Alamitos Pick 6 offers a traditional 70-30 split. That means a better chance for a solid nightly payout for our horse players. Check our strong Pick 6 payout this year. Over $10,000 on November 22nd. Over $32,000 on November 15th. Over $10,000 on October 18th. The traditional Los Alamitos Pick 6. It's a wager that is always in style.
Mare produce records are essential for breeding decisions, sales catalog research, buying and selling decisions. The Equine Line Mare Produce Records online service and apps provide you with unlimited access to mare produce information from all over the world, with racing and auction history for thoroughbred mares and foals. When it comes to mare produce records, there's one source with every mare, every foal, everywhere. EquineLine.com.
And now another pretty good tweet presented by Same Game Parlay only on FanDuel Sportsbook. At the Captain 33 writes, "Don't take my betting advice, but FanDuel Same Game Parlay is where it's at. Want our betting advice? The Captain's betting advice is very much where it's at. Only FanDuel Sportsbook lets you parlay multiple wagers on the same game to turn a small bet into a big payday. All customers get Same Game Parlay insurance worth up to $25 every day."
Introducing the Equibase app with all new features, including Smart Pick, smart handicapping made easy. Choose your track, choose your race, and then go to Smart Pick. Select your level of risk, the size of your wager, and which of these 3 strategies you want to emphasize. Smart Pick will then tailor your very own selection and bet amount. It couldn't be easier. Smart Pick, one of the exciting new features in the Equibase app. Download it free of charge today.
And we're back, and just a few moments ago, it was Rosat who took him. August Indy, left with a field of 6. It better be gold. Well, this 5. Jose, first-time starter here for Brian Corner, a son who will take charge. It was a $120,000 OBS 2-year-old in training purchase back in 2018. Arrives as a late 4-year-old, workout steady, debuting on Lasix, 3-2.
Yeah, this one taking their early money, being the lone first-time starter. It has a top rider, has a sharp barn, so it figured to take some money, but I feel like the betting should kind of even out a little bit more as we get closer to the gate. 12 minutes to go here.
Yeah, it's tough to make a case for others, but another interesting contender to the inside, Gus Headley, the son of the legend himself, Bruce Headley. Paul L. Gus Headley brings that one in off of a little bit of a freshening. This horse was well beaten at the maiden $50,000 state-bred level. You know, but to his defense, 2 career starts, drew the rail on debut, came back, drew 2 of 6, and, you know, all things considered, Paul L. stands to reason this horse could certainly perk up here tonight.
Yeah, he broke in and bumped at the start neck and kind of was under a pull in between horses early on. So definitely that one could have tried to show more speed here today.
All right, so a field of 6 coming up here. We're about 12 minutes away. I want to remind you, Jose, what's that exact total on the carryover this evening?
It's over 40,000. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's over 40K. I'll get you the exact number in a moment.
I love exact numbers. And I'm told that we're going to go to a 3-minute, 25-second break. Let's see how Mr. Lucky's feeling tonight. We'll be back.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do. Call us at 1-800-555-1043. That's 1-800-555-1043. Or go to mesobook.com.
In the quest for perfection, there are no minor details and no effort unimportant. You could call it a passion, but we just call it the perfect trip. Brought to you every day by Sentient Jet.
Hey, neighbor, we gotta talk. Well, Jay? No, he only comes to Bugle on race days.
Race days?
With the TVG app, every day is race day. You can place bets right in your phone, even stream live races.
Top-notch runners facing off.
I can have a day at the track whenever I want, right at home.
Coming through, guys.
Go get him, Mike.
Mike Smith?
Yeah, Mike Smith.
There's a new home of horse racing, yours. Get a 50% bonus on your first deposit up to $250.
The Equine Line Mare Produce Records online service and apps with every mare, every foal, everywhere. equineline.com.
So that ended up being 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Thank you, Deb, directing. Yes, I should trust in Deb, Mr. Lucky. You know, the Patriots didn't make the playoffs, so perhaps he might be a bit disheveled. Back to the order of business here. 1,000 yards is the maiden allowance, and a good look at the two Angels rule. I know Cash Hines at home would be playing this one, but this horse has certainly been off form. The three, what are your thoughts on Trash Truck, Jose?
Trash Truck, you know, he has been training over the surface, so that's a positive. And you get a top rider, so that's a positive as well, that he top local rider. And you get a barn that, you know, runs well here. They lace him well, so the three is definitely taking plenty of early money here.
Yeah, you have to appreciate a horse that runs out of his own stall. We'll get into some of his background pedigree here in a moment. Shout out to Coach Carter in my hometown of Las Vegas. Coach, he's coming in from the man cave there. And he's had a fair amount of pick sixes, so I'm sure he'll be playing into that $40,000 plus pick six tonight. As we look at It Better Be Gold with the scratch of the 5 August Indy. Does this horse deserve to be 4 to 5, Jose?
I think so. I think this horse deserves to be, deserves to be the favorite. As we look at the 7 here, Luna de Miel for Stacy Locke, owned by Kelly Castañeda and Cande Murillo. This one comes out of a non-threatening effort over the daytime back on December 4th.
Well, can you forgive that effort?
I think you can, especially on a horse that just got the first start under his belt. Now he's cutting back in distance and facing the nighttime oval. I think you can make a case for definitely a better effort.
All right, so I wanted to get back to Trash Truck. You know, I had an opportunity to pull up the workouts, Jose, and you know that's the thing when you attend these 2-year-old training sales. You know, there's so much hope and promise, you know, pinned on the fact that potentially you could buy a horse that, you know, not only would early on, but potentially would evolve into a stakes type and perhaps even have a horse that might be able to step onto the Derby trail. Brian Corner on behalf of himself, the eracing.com, Janet Lyons. On the plus side, the fact that they debut here protected is good. You know, on the negative side, you know, I've got workouts here dating back to May of 2018. This horse worked up until September of that year and then had a 300-day gap, returned on the tab July of 2019, and then worked through October of 2019, and then a 381-day gap and returned November 20th of 2020. So with all of those gaps in activity, I kind of get the impression now that they're like, Brian in his mind, I'm trying to get into the mind of him having been a former trainer, look, we got to get a start in. And, you know, based on the workouts, there's nothing that really stands out. The mother, she took, 5 starts to break her maiden. She did break her maiden in a maiden special weight in a wash-off race at Fairgrounds back in 2011. She was good enough to win an entry-level allowance over synthetics. She produced Fentanola, who broke her maiden earlier this year for maiden 25 at Gulfstream. She herself, she took 5 starts to break her maiden. So when you think pedigree, then you look at the stallion will take charge. You know, first-time starters, 8%. So does that get your pulse racing?
No, and that's why I decided to take a pass here tonight. I wanted to see a race. You know, both of them, the dams win were at a mile. You see that you know, the pedigree for going long. You mentioned, you know, the full sibling Fentanola, 1 for 9 lifetime. The win was a sprint at Gulfstream. So I just wanted to see a race. I wasn't fond of putting my money on the first time spotter, specifically in this spot here tonight.
All right, so it's understood that you believe that the 6-horse deserves to be a short number in It Better Be Gold. Out at Remington Park, yes, it's a beautiful night out there for racing. It's always a beautiful night at Remington Park, even if it's snowing and raining and whatever it may be. I know you had an opportunity to take a look at this upcoming third. Impressions here?
I think the 10 was impressive and defeated last time out. Almost hesitated at the start, pretty much left almost at the gate, and you know, lost some ground early on. And once she got moving around the turn, she was showing a good amount of energy, Nick. And at the top of the stretch, she got stopped pretty badly there. And still, once she got out of that trouble, still was making up ground in the final strides for the winner. And the winner of the race actually made the same move as her, kind of from the back of the pack on the outside of her. So kind of kept her boxed in throughout. It was just an uncomfortable trip. So if the 10 gets out tonight, I think the 10 is the winner here. Deserves to be a short price.
Well, it's a curious spot because when you look at, you know, am I seeing this right on the morning line? The 10 was 10-1?
No, 8-5.
All right, so whatever report I'm looking at here is certainly off kilter. So thank you for the clarification of that. I will make a call to that particular company to ask where they got 10-1 morning line, because that would have been ultra deceiving as a handicapper to have seen a horse that was bet down from 10-1 to 3-5, because essentially I would have been all in at that point. Are you one of those that chases the live money?
No, I kind of, when I handicap the races, I have in my mind, if the morning line's out, then I kind of, you know, I make my selections. Like I kind of in my mind already know what price am I willing to take on a specific course.
You set your own morning line.
Yeah, I kind of know, like, am I willing to let this horse beat me at 4-1, 5-1? Do I want 8-1, or this horse at 8-5? You know, you kind of in your mind, you got to make up your mind, like what price are you willing to take, and what price are you willing to let a horse beat you at?
Fair enough. And I do like the fact that your horse came rolling home last out, did encounter some traffic trouble. I'm always leery of the horse that was far back, kind of made an eye-catching move. You know, we all look at the past performances and we're like, ooh, look at that one. And I mean, the number earned that day for that 2-year-old daughter, read the footnotes, was pretty solid. Earned a 51 Beyer speed rating on debut. For me, I thought the 5 looked real good stepping out onto the track for Patrick Swan. I totally get the feeling that this horse is kind of racing herself into form, although race day, a son of Tappet, who stands for just 7,500, his horses tend to, you know, they tend to fire early. So I'm hoping we haven't seen the best of that particular horse for what it's worth. But, you know, again, from a pace dynamic, Jose, in this spot, flat out larceny. The 11 looks like one that's certainly going to try and gun away from there. But they're getting close to the post there at Remington Park. Wanted to get your final thoughts here. As you can see, the money is strong on It Better Be Gold. This horse looking to graduate in career start number 6, the 4th locally. Final thoughts?
you know, the 6 comes out of the same race as Acting Cat, who had that trouble start. We'll see Acting Cat in the next race. But I think the 1 is a very good price, 4-1. A horse that had some trouble last time out, was trying to show gate speed there, was trying to show speed in between horses, Nick. The 1 is a very good price at 4-1.
All right. Let's give it up to Michael Rona for the call. This is a maiden protected special. Await allowance. You've got 3 to 5 odds on it. Better be gold. First time starter for Brian Corner. 2-1 Trash Truck. Your second choice. Let's send it up to Michael for the call.
Luna de Miel completing the line. Ready to go. Racing. It better be gold. Pounces on the early lead from Trash Truck. Paul L along the inside. Angel's Rule coming through, 1 off the fence, but It Better Be Gold sets up a comfortable lead as they join the main track. It's It Better Be Gold by 2 from Trash Truck. 1 length Paul L, followed 4th by Angel's Rule. Luna de Miel 7 from the front, 5 ahead of Bold Eagle with a 1/4 mile to run. It Better Be Gold getting a little pressure from Trash Truck, the first-time starter, who got within 3/4 of a length briefly, but It Better Be Gold effortlessly extends the advantage again and reaches the top of the stretch, 2.5 in front. It Better Be Gold swinging for home, clear of Trash Truck, followed then by Luna de Miel and Paul L, but It Better Be Gold in full control. It Better Be Gold leads and wins from Trash Truck, Luna de Miel, Paul L finishing 4th.
The goose is loose, and It Better Be Gold for the H&D Ranch. Mike Castleman, wire to wire. That's 2 in a row here. Under the lights, going gate to wire.
Yeah, good start there. Immediately grabbed the lead. Took some pressure, maybe a little bit of pressure there from Trash Truck, who got within a length, but was able to pull that one away and win nicely here. Final odds of 3 to 5.
I think Brian Corner accomplished what he needed to. He got a race in the Trash Truck. That horse should be sitting on go. He may even be able to compete across town for perhaps a claiming tag and become starter eligible. But coming back in this spot, these type of conditions, Trash Truck will likely be your prohibitive choice. He's well clear of the 3rd place finisher. Jose, you're on the 10 Dixie Field.
Yeah, I just can't see anyone else but the 10. If the 10 breaks, the 10 should be the winner here.
I'll go to the 5, Smoky Reflection for Patrick Swan. Barn due for some luck. We're going to send it out to Dale Day. It's a big card tonight, folks. It's deep. Not any stakes on the docket, but it's a 10-race card at Remington. Let's give it up to Dale Day for the 3rd live on TVG.
Smoky Reflection. 2 left to load after Smoky Reflection. Spent it at Harry's, the last of the trio of first-timers, steps up. Last in will be the 11, Flat Out Larceny. All in. They're off. Rough beginning for Tizito, but quickly goes over to the rail to get in safe ground position. So that may have been the tactic they wanted to do. Out quickly, SC Tunney's Secret, Dixie Fight, and Flat Out Larceny. Those 3 battle early on. They're a length and a half clear. Spent it at Harry's, who rushes up wide into 4th. Silver Pom-Pom down inside 5th. The neck better than Stacy Moore. Less than a half mile to go. Another 2 then. 2 Smoky Reflection, gap of 6 to between Argino and Tuzita. 14 from the front. 3 furlongs left. Opening quarter one at 22.52 seconds. Dixie Fight now has the lead by almost a full length. Flat Out Larceny coming back on. Outside farther, that Spin It at Harry's trapped inside. Stacy Moore looking for racing room. Passing the quarter pole. Dixie Fight now is on top by a pair. Well back to the rest after the front 4. It's Dixie Fight up by 2. Stacy Moore to the inside. Outside Spin It at Harry's. Flat Out Larceny is 4th. Less than a furlong to go. Stacy Moore switches outside. And right now, pulling away at the rail, that is Dixie Fight. Dixie Fight is up by 3. Stacy Moore continues to try. There's not enough time. Dixie Fight graduates here by 2.5. Stacy Moore 2nd. Spin It at Harry's 3rd. Mad rush for a battle for 4th between Smoky Reflection and Silver Pom-Pom.
Last 2 will be Bedtime for Bonzo, Luciano Hernandez, and My Kind of Kid with Isaiah Sayala. First leg of the pick 5 went to number 6, Old Mountain Lane, returning $25. All set for the second leg. They're off and racing, and taking up sharply after the break was Bold Bonita, and Candy Kid was slowly into stride, or Candy Lou. Now beginning quickly was Bedtime for Bonzo. White Drill in the white silk hunts through along the inside. My Kind of Kid is out 3 wide. In behind them is Barra Valley, who was under a good tight hold early. They're 4 or 5 lengths in front of Firebird, followed by Bold Bonita, who's giving the leader. Oh, there's one more tailed off there, and that's Candy Lou. On the outside, My Kind of Kid leads by a neck over White Drill. In third comes Bedtime for Bonzo. Barra Valley is next. Then comes Firebird working forward, followed by Bold Bonita and Candy Lou as they run for home. And My Kind of Kid and Isaiah Sayala have opened up by 3 or 4. White Drill is running second, followed by Bedtime for Bonzo. Firebird is running on late down the outside, but it's My Kind of Kid nicely clear. My Kind of Kid 3.5, 4 lengths in front. My Kind of Kid wins by make it 3.5. White Drill second, third home Firebird, and fourth was Bedtime for Bonzo.
My Kind of Kid and Isais Ayala for trainer Brian Cook. And Brian Cook putting together some nice numbers here at the current stand. A tough year otherwise, but evidently certainly on the button here with his 4th win, at least in press time. Jose, I've always been a big fan of a speed horse getting the weight off over a wet track. No secret here, but this horse is going to come back better than $18.
Yeah, and I believe that, few people stayed away because of the layoff. Had not races the 10th of February, Nick. Got back into stride here tonight. 8-1 price here in the 6th.
That's a beautiful price to have. And, a horse that came in, despite being 0 for 9 over the wet, had 3 seconds and a third, and certainly had every bit of chance here to attain and get the lead. All right, we will get those prices for you, before we're going to take a break. And a reminder, watch TVG and TVG2 and more HD on your favorite connected TV device. Details on tvg.com/watch. The new version is available for you. It did go official here in the second at Los Alamitos. It better be gold under the goose. We'll be back.
Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, don't sleep on our popular $2 Pick 6 at Los Alamitos Racecourse. The Los Alamitos Pick 6 offers a traditional 70-30 split. That means a better chance for a solid nightly payout for our horse players. Check our strong Pick 6 payout this year. Over $10,000 on November 22nd. Over $32,000 on November 15th. Over $10,000 on October 18th. The traditional Los Alamitos Pick 6. It's a wager that is always in style.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services. Attention ovarian cancer victims. Johnson & Johnson has stopped production of their talc-based baby powder in North America. Johnson & Johnson knew for decades about many medical studies linking long-term use of talc-based baby powder to ovarian cancer, but never added warning labels to product packaging or ads. If you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer after regularly using baby powder, you may have a case. The number of lawsuits involving Johnson & Johnson has increased with significant talcum powder verdicts, including a landmark verdict of $4.7 billion to 22 women in 2018. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with ovarian cancer and regularly used baby powder, you may be entitled to compensation.
Call Sokolov Law now. 1-800-262-9583 for your free legal consultation. Call 1-800-262-9583. That's 1-800-262-9583. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Diamond Creek Farm presents Southwind Frank, a force of nature who tore through the 2-year-old ranks and left a lasting impression on everything in his path.
It's all Southwind Frank, 2.5 lengths in front. Southwind Frank wins the Breeders' Crown.
Southwind Frank is powering past on the outside. Southwind Frank wrapped up in the first Dancer division.
With the wind at your back, there's no limit to how far you can go. Southwind Frank, standing at Diamond Creek Farm.
On the outside, No Getting Over Me is trying to come back third as they turn for home. Independence Hall trying to remain undefeated. Ortiz goes to work and he still has the lead, but Sol Volante runs at the leader on the outside. We're down to 2. Independence Hall, the whip is out. On the outside, Sol Volante runs by the leader. It's Sol Volante in front and going away. Independence Hall settles for second. Very tight for third. Looks like Ajuid, come from absolutely last, gets up for third.
In light, in what has been a madness of a year, of course, here in 2020, it seems as if that race for Sole Volante took place a long, long time ago, but it was just back in February. And before you know it, came back to finish second in the Tampa Bay Derby, ran 2-part in the Triple Crown with the Belmont first, and came back in the Kentucky Derby to no avail. But Jose, the son of Caraconte, comes back to the turf Saturday at Gulfstream Park for the $75,000 Tropical Park Derby. And reports are he is working rather forwardly for Patrick Biancone in the Reims Thoroughbred.
Well, and he's going to go back to Gulfstream Park. He won the Pulpit Stakes at Gulfstream Park. He began his career 2 for Tunic. The first one was at Gulfstream Park West. And then before the Tampa, the Sam F. Davis, he actually finished third in the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. So he's no stranger to that track. And, if the reports are that he's doing well, he's definitely going to be one of the many contenders in there.
Mischief, who has certainly ascended to the top of the ladder here in the U.S. of A., and of course having an effect globally. But they better be gold, beat the break, and was able to earn that cap and gown, my friend.
I got to tell you, that was a very useful debut run by the 3, who always had a target to run, was trying to make a bid, was just second best tonight. But that was a good second in defeat there for Trash Truck, and then the price horse there at the 7, Luna de Miel, completes a trifecta, which paid $30.90.
Yeah, obviously it would have been nice to have seen Trash Truck perhaps compete during the day, but as I had alluded to prior to the race, the gaps in activity, just came to a point, and under the rules and regulations now, with a 4-year-old maiden first-time starter, things have changed a little bit. They aren't what they were, even 2-3 years ago, with horses that are debuting at that age, and especially the fact that, in a week and a half, he's going to be a 5-year-old. So I think they're doing the right thing there. Look for Trash Truck to graduate sometime soon within a reasonable condition. 14 minutes to post here for the third. By the way, congratulations going to Mike Castleman, the H&E Ranch, the Goose. Acting Cat 1-5. I can't say I'm real surprised to see this, but I'm a bit more interested to see what the 6 Perfect Reflection looks like on the track.
Yeah, we'll see. The scratch here of the 4 was one of the horses that I think was going to take a little bit of money. So coming out of a second place finish over the daytime. So Acting Cat taking all of the early money, 1-5, and I'm not surprised here based on that run last time out. He made like a little bit of a right-hand turn and bumped hard at the start, then rushed up and was second best in that event.
The 3 Western Smoke comes in off the quick turnaround from my friend Joe Messino and his partnership, and Brad Luster, Craig DeLasse. There's a trainer. I mean, last night, Brando the bartender, who came home on top. I played that early pick 4. I sent you my ticket. I couldn't believe that pick 4 came back at that number, considering that Francisco Orduña Rojas, what was that, a $20 horse?
Yeah, it was a maiden facing winner for the first time for Brian Cunningham.
Yeah.
It might have been 6 or 8 to 1 on the morning line, went off at 11.
Unbelievable. Did you or Caleb end up having any luck last night there?
Not in the early one. No, I don't remember. No, definitely not the early one. I remember saying that I was willing to let that first time against winners beat me because there were some other horses that have been facing some sharp winners, Nick, in that event.
I guess my point though, Jose, is the fact that you had short prices around it. That pick 4 managed to pay in excess of $1,200. That was crazy.
I believe it was the other 3 legs, Nick. I believe it was favorites in the other 3 legs.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Dixie-fied. I think I might have said Dixie Field, but you can forgive me for that. This one by reading the footnotes out of the mare Tickle Your Fancy, Francisco Bravo. You were spot on here, but I know you weren't hoping and expecting 1-5.
No, if he broke, he was going to be the horse to beat. He broke. He was on the lead this time out. They gave him a good pressure. He took some pressure, but was able to shake away at the top of the stretch. Nice ride there by Sophie Doyle.
Yeah, take a look at that purse. In excess of $36,900. And Dixified, owned by Mike Grossman, bred by the Eureka Thoroughbred. So certainly owning an Oklahoma bred is not a bad thing. And we saw one last night, my friend, in Welder. Welder is one for the ages, right?
Yes.
Can we maybe sign up a match race with Whitmore? Maybe at, I think it was Chance Moquette who had said maybe at Blue Ribbon Downs. That would be a hell of a match race.
Welder is now one of the all-time grays. Not only is he all-time Oklahoma bred, but he's just a beautiful gray, and he's just loving it, what he's doing out there. And you had to work for it last night, but you got it done.
Scratch the 3 Caleb's Tigers. That takes away the Swami angle coming up here in the 4th at Remington. Another maiden special weight, state breds. We'll talk about that for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. At Mountaineer, it was my kind of kid, and Isaias Ayala. This young apprentice has certainly been getting hot of late. And over your 3 to 5 favorite, the $2 exact returns $55.80.
Yeah, I feel like we've said this apprentice's name a few times in our shifts, Nick. So he's earning some nice wins at nice prices.
All right, Mountaineer race number 7 coming up here shortly. You still have 3 races remaining, so I would advise that you get involved in a pick 3 just to close out the evening. Of course, we're just days away from the eve of Christmas, and just around the corner, opening day at the Great Race Place on the 26th. And of course, their opening day co-featured the Malibu, La Brea 3-year-old fillies. Should be a lot of fun. But here at Los Al, it's closing night. And Jose, I just saw that pick 6 money is rolling above 100,000.
Did you see that, Nick?
Yeah.
Woo.
Not surprised.
No.
I had predicted tonight. My friend at the gate had said, "Hey, I think that pool's going to be right around $150," and I would be disappointed if it didn't get to 150,000.
I think you're right. I think that might be a very attainable number. Race 3 does begin the pick 6, $2 variety. We're going 1,000 yards. This is for the maidens. Listen, Linda going by. Hella Jalapeno, the first-time starter, going by. Here's the 3 Western Smoke, Nick, for Craig DeLossie. This trainer-jockey combination, they've been doing very well here at nighttime.
Indeed, they have, winning it beyond 55%. Acting Cat, Brian Corner makes a change here in rider. Francisco Arduino Rojas. This horse missed the break, gunned, and then essentially finished second to Danny Bob, who's a returnee for Felix Gonzalez. Horse that we liked that night. And there's a Perfect Reflection under the House Silks of Doc Allred, a $60,000 Keno September yearling. And Slew the Waters, much improved last out, but that time is a little on the slow side.
Yeah, second best is Zarzan that night. And Slew the Waters has been competitive here, knocking on the door in a few starts, but tonight sitting at a very generous price of 18 to 1.
All right, so as I pull up the information here on Perfect Reflection, I wanted you to talk to me. I wanted you to talk to me about Western Smoke. You know, this horse early on appeared to have had some gun potential. I mean, you look at that 3rd career start, finished second at 1,000 yards, was beaten 50 cents on the dollar. Edwin Maldonado stuck around for the night program to ride. Well, not the case tonight. In fact, 3 make it 4 starts removed since then. Had a pair of turf starts at the maiden special weight level, dropped in for maiden 20, beaten 20 3/4, beaten 14. I kind of almost get the impression that Western Smoke may not be the horse he was back in July, and I'm not sure even that would be enough to win this race.
And that's going to be the main question. If he can repeat that effort from back in July, he's right there for